Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the
Welcome back to the
Mehcast, and oh,
Mehcast.
what a motley crew we are.
Kevin's playing a
So,
good game today, and I'm playing
I wouldn't.
this.
This is just kind of a game. I wouldn't call it good or bad. It's just there.
Kevin, look at what I'm playing.
I know what you're playing. I don't need to look.
I'm playing Cheadle versus Cheadle, Dawn of Hide the Pain. Anyway.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, that would have been.
Superman,
Yeah.
all
I love how
characters'
you.
names.
I love how you literally photoshopped Don Cheadle's face over Superman and Brainiac.
He photoshops John Cheadle's face over everything.
All right, just remember, or Alex, you don't necessarily need to play the game on the hardest difficulty. Therefore, you don't need to fly through any rings.
Why are there Why does this game have multiplayer?
I don't know. All right. So this is an interesting thing that dropped a little while last week. Apparently, this is a visual novel game where it's Amy's birthday and you're playing as a original the character self-insert.
Cold Steel the Hedgehog.
He's not really a hedgehog. Yeah, he's kind of a
Sonichu.
What the fuck is that? Is that a fox or something? I know it's Tails.
You will
Right,
never find your friends in this virtual world, not Clancy Brown.
Made it on the train 15 minutes ahead of schedule. So far,
Display
so good.
cinema, display normal.
My first day on the job.
40%.
Oh,
why would I
forgot my
want
name
to
tag
shrink
is
the
ready.
display that much?
Oh, trust me, you can shrink it down quite a bit, Alex.
Yeah, you can shrink it down even less than... Now, I do apologize. I had planned to hook up my jacks and play... Why is this game in widescreen? And play An Ideal of Hope from Man of Steel during the intro of this game. But,
What should I name
you know,
this?
my
what-
dad
what
is
should I
asleep
name
in the
this
other room, so...
What should I name this original the character?
Cold Steel.
Cold Steel.
I gotta turn off the fan.
All right,
Lex Luthor
sure.
trapped Lois, Jimmy, and Professor Hamilton in a
Cold
virtual
Steel.
world.
Did I
Not that
spell
we
that
would know
right?
who any
Yes.
of those people. Not that we would know who
Oh.
any of those people were if we hadn't seen Superman the Animated Series. Superman has no choice but to enter this world and rescue his friends. Take off and land with Z, accelerate with B, brake with R, grab with B, throw punch with A. Read the last text with L, resume
So yeah, this is
texts
Cold
with
Steel's first
B.
day on the job, and our conductor,
I am-
who
I am going to
Wait.
strangle the person who programmed these controls. If you were playing this on a normal controller, by the way, Kevin, I'm sorry, I'm emulating this because I fell deathly ill over the weekend. I was unable to unearth my N64, and
that's fine.
why-
You
why
have the
is-
cartridge. You have the cartridge anyway, so I don't care.
What the fuck? Okay, so
So
okay,
our
it doesn't
conductor.
update unless I. Okay, so let's change how this works briefly. That's fantastic. N64 emulator.
Our menu consists of chili dog, ramen, and chicken cordon
There we
bleu.
What?
Oh. Yes, I can read a menu, Mr. Conductor Man. So you'll never guess who Amy has coming with her on this party.
Who?
Just take a guess. As besides Sonic, Tails, and Nookles.
Sonichu.
Videl?
No. No.
Who is Videl anyway?
Rose-a-Chu.
From Dragon Ball? No.
Oh, yeah. Why am I saving textures to the hard drive? I don't need to save textures to the hard drive. Okay, once more with feeling.
Let's see. We have Tails, Vector the Crocodile,
Now, it's been a while since we've seen Vector, hasn't it?
Sonic Free
Yep.
Rider, or no, wait, Sonic Forces, Rouge the Bat, Knuckles,
Bluckles.
Knuckles from the Fuckles McChuckles series.
then there's Sonic. Okay, now and also we have Espio the Chameleon, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Blaze the Cat. That is who is in this that is who is in our cast for this game.
Okay, awesome. So apparently, yeah, I can only, so you said to bump it down to easy mode for the beginning?
Yes, for the first 10 levels, and then, and when you get to the, then after you beat level 10, and just boost up the difficulty, start up your save file, and then you'll skip right to level 12.
Will be sealed.
Do the same thing after you beat that so that you'll skip right to level 14. You never have to fly through a single ring in this whole game.
Let's see here.
I mean, would we really want to argue with someone who has the vocal cords of Idris Elba?
1600 by 1200.
Andrew, who now?
How do you not know who Idris Elba is?
I feel like I should know that.
Okay, so I can display it in
Heimdall?
widescreen, but I can't get the emulator to crop it to widescreen. How do you not know who Idris Elba is?
Oh, you said Idris Elba. I thought.
Yeah, I
you were
did.
saying a different
I
name.
said Idris Elba.
Oh, I thought you said a different name, like Andrew something.
No.
Oh shit.
And of course, this train has robot arms.
Apparently, Discord picked up the audio from the game I'm playing right now.
Oh, I couldn't hear it.
Oh.
Wouldn't be a Mehcast without technical difficulties. And again, this is one of the most notoriously poorly programmed games ever made, so, you know.
Wow, Shadow really wants to avoid conversation.
Huh.
He's out the edge. Hi, Blaze.
Okay, display cinema. That gives me ultra wide.
Ah, nice.
Then display normal. That crops, I think. Kind of. If I lose some left and right. Okay, so now I actually do have a 16:9 here. See your friends alive, follow the compass, Superman.
I just fucked
Be
up the
thankful I
supercharged
gave you
RAM.
that advice, Alex, because that's something that the strategy guide for Superman 64 tells you to do.
God, there is Superman currently trying to save his friends from Silent Hill.
They call that kryptonite fog in that game.
I don't buy it.
Okay.
Collateral damage. What's that?
Indeed.
Oh, Superman. 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 Well, Lex won Lex won because I ran into those people. And they say Man of Steel Superman was destructive.
They
I've trapped you in Silent Hills, Superman, as revenge for destroying my satellite and trucks during that movie.
I thought it was Wayne in Enterprise's satellite that was destroyed in that film.
Oh yeah, well he destroyed.
Yeah.
They destroyed a bunch of shit in that movie. Okay, so I picked it up. Apparently it doesn't count until I've destroyed the cars.
No, it actually counts if you just throw... Oh, it's somewhere?
Okay,
Oh.
I'm pushing... Kevin, I'm pushing the button, but nothing's occurring.
Get used to that.
Say the line, Alex.
What?
By
I'm
the way,
sorry,
Alex...
what? Why are you jumping? Get in...
Say the line,
can fly, Clark.
Alex.
Clark, you can fly. Why aren't you flying, Clark? Did you
know?
take your stupid pills alongside Connor from Young Justice today?
Oh,
Look,
goodness.
up in the sky. Is it a
So
bird?
Vector-
Is it a plane?
So Vector is a butcher.
It might be a really
Espio is a
dumb Man of
poet
Steel.
in the library. And Knuckles is the sheriff inside of the bar. Shadow is the locksmith hanging out in the lounge.
Oh, so Shadow is basically
Amy is the
me
journalist.
when I was 15. I still have my lockpick set.
Amy is the journalist reporter. Blaze and Rouge are in the casino. Oh, and Sonic is supposed to be in the conductor's area. It's a very linear structure.
I'm pushing... So it says to... Okay, then. Jimmy,
What?
Lois, I'm sorry. I forgot how to fly, and now I can't get to there to save you.
Well, don't forget you also have to save Hamilton.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry I forgot about you, Emil. My best friend who has helped me, through all kinds of nonsense.
Well, here's the
Then
plus
there's no
side,
time to
Alex.
waste.
At the very least, Professor Hamilton won't be able to create Galatea.
Yeah, but I
clone of-
also won't be able to save the world from apocalypse when that time comes. So, you know.
Superman just flat out dies.
Superman's trapped in Silent Hill forever.
Now
So
you're
when
supposed to press, like...
I accidentally... This is my punishment for,
Did you
for
press Z?
accidentally... Yes, I did.
Okay, what is the flight button?
When I pushed Z earlier, it just made me jump.
Did you hold down the button?
Yeah, this is my punishment for accidentally killing Lois and Jonathan back in Injustice.
So is this just a composite Superman?
Yeah.
Well, the train's speeding up meanwhile, and we've ended up in
I'm
places.
running this on a GTX 3060 Ti. This should...
How many RAMs does that video card have?
I have no idea.
Because I'm thinking I might have
Does
to
it-
get a new
Does
video
it
card
just
myself.
not count unless I put it exactly on the spot? Superman.
Yeah, you gotta put it in the goal ring.
But
Yeah, you gotta put it through the gate.
Then there's no time to wait.
You gotta put it through the gate. Alex, why would you do that?
I was trying to, and then it didn't work. Yeah, this is, yeah, after I tried to take over the world in Injustice, Batman and found a little town called Silent Hill and stuck me here. I'm gonna run into another guy who killed his wife and feels guilty over it, and maybe a guy who lost his daughter, and a trucker who's here for basically no reason.
Alex, why is Dogecoin going up today?
Because it was April... Clark, Why did
There's
you...
no time to waste.
So he automatically grabbed
Yeah,
the car
but
when I ran up to
today-
it, and then when I hit... Uh-huh.
It pumped today, and it was an April Fool's Day.
I don't know. I'm just happy about that because it means my super advanced game running at high settings here, guys. 3060 Ti can't run Superman 64.
Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, I gotta gather evidence and interrogate Amy Rose.
I should probably not mention the fact that I'm playing a good game right now.
Inverted controls. Superman is apparently not strong enough to keep the car that he's holding from tilting forwards.
It's actually a remake of a very good game
Okay.
that I am playing.
Okay, I'm
All right,
pushing the button. Okay,
Alright, Amy. It's time to interrogate you.
it's time to interrogate you. Whips out penis. Wait, sorry. This is not the Sonic the Hedgehog porno.
Oh,
Slow
I
down
have
there,
questions.
Paul Rhodes.
Destroy
By the way, Alex,
the four dark shadow. That guy's dead. That guy's also dead.
Show me evidence that I was able.
Superman. Is
Yeah,
the
I
shadow
know.
in the public domain? Because those guys looked a lot like Lamont Cranston.
I don't know. Destroy the 4 dark shadows as opposed to the light shadows.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex, if you descended down. Alex, if you descended down on a certain spot in there, you would be able to clip right through that bridge.
This is the only.
How do you
boss
feel about the
level I played
masterful
where you
punching
can eat
animation
more
of
butterflies.
Superman
I
64?
love it. And how do you feel about seeing the back of Slenderman's ass?
Hi guys.
Did you know
Can I
that?
be
Did you know that
in
the
the
Superman
movie?
64 model is the one that they use your super breath to blow away the tornadoes? How do I do that, game?
You gotta grab the power up and then use it.
Okay, well I have to. Well, at least there's no timer.
Oh god, why do I have to play a runner? Oh god.
Okay.
Alex, I gotta play a runner and collect rings.
I first confession, guys. I first heard of Slender Man because of Lil Karibo.
Clark. Hey, that's better than hearing about it because of the game.
Hi guys.
I heard about it because of the
Collateral
game.
damage. What's that?
Then there's no time to
I
waste.
would like to be in the movie.
Alright.
We used to get crunk
Sure,
and
the
pick
shelf
up
fell, but there was nothing.
There goes.
Oh,
So yeah, fun fact: the Superman 64 model is the one that they used in the original build of the Slenderman game.
Oh, come on! I
They
gotta.
just retextured it.
Oh, this.
Yay.
The running part of this game is the weirdest part of the game. Alex,
Okay.
I don't know how to.
Favorite part of the game.
Alex, I don't know how to feel about this.
Oh no.
How many times is Lex gonna win on your end?
Break with R. Grab with B. Throw punch with A. Freezing breath with up C. Okay.
How do you up C?
I mapped that to up on the right stick, so...
I'm gonna play a good
Amy tried to break
N64
the
game
shelf with
later
the Pico
just to
Pico
fuck with
hammer, and
Alex.
somehow that broke the hammer.
Clark, if you could... There we go.
Of course, I'm not playing a good N64 game. I'm actually playing a good,
Then there's no time to waste.
well, remake of a PS1 game.
Crash Bandicoot?
No.
Spyro?
Yeah. I'm playing the Reignited trilogy.
The N64's draw distance was not this terrible. Especially not for buildings this shitty.
And by the way, Alex, you want to know something interesting? The game game that you're playing right now didn't even turn out to be 10% to what one of the developers had intended.
yeah, I
and
remember
Sonic's
that.
dead, by the way.
Okay,
Yep,
Clark,
Sonic
Clark,
is toast
can you steer?
110% dead, guys. Ephilis came onto the train, stabbed him, and then just left.
Yes, I understand. I understand, game. Can you send the tutorial away? I need you to go away now.
Alex, aren't you
Okay,
gonna say
Clark.
a line?
Superman.
No.
This looks like a job for Superman.
The line that's in
I
the
wouldn't-
form of a
who-
question.
Okay, so who... What are you doing to me, game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Body numb, can't move. I just need to rest.
Steer worse than Lara Croft in the original Tomb Raider. Okay, Clark. Clark.
This looks like a job for Superman.
God,
I'm down,
imagine you're
hold
the guy
still.
who gets told, well, you get to play Superman in this game. And then you find out that this is the game. Okay, Clark. Steer a little bit better, Clark.
Steer like you're driving your car? Oh, wait, never mind.
I'd appreciate if you wouldn't steer like you're driving your car.
You said it just like the image, too, Alex.
Okay. Okay. Ah.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Wonderful. You know what we could do? If I was
What?
developing this game, I wouldn't have him need the super breath power up. That'd just
Again.
be like a thing.
You guys want me
yeah,
to see if
now
I can
it's-
get Gizmo on here?
What if Sonic is actually hurt? Tails laughs at me. How dare you laugh at me, you devilish child.
Okay, Clark.
I'm just gonna ask him, you coming, Jiraiya? Very poor choice of words.
know how
Okay.
freeze breath stops the wind. How does that make any sense?
You know, I could have just clapped my hands.
So Superman would do what he does to Lois every night?
Ascend. You know, for somebody whose primary power is flight and super strength, you seem to be very bad at both of those right now, Superman.
Do skill points even do anything?
You know, you'd think
I
that
played
in
the-
flying, the easiest thing in the world would be to go up and down, but no. Like, how...
You know, there is a
I'm gonna
Superman...
Quote the I'm gonna quote the AVGN quite an awful lot. An awful lot.
I figured you
during this
would.
video. But, you know, what were they thinking? Are you
He's
kidding
gonna take you back
Proton
to
John
the
actually has
past.
listed the full interview he had with Eric Kahn, one of the developers of this game.
He's a
You s-
world.
Kevin, you said I wouldn't have to jump. What is wrong with your face, Superman? The N64 was capable of so much better than this. And this looks so bad.
You know, they also had a game... You know, they...
Oh my god.
The developers also had a,
Why am I missing a gem?
Of course, Tails is ignoring me.
Eh.
Okay.
So did
Super
you guys
Monkey Ball?
Did you guys hear about you want to save game? I can't imagine why, but insert a controller pack. I did. Insert Rumble pack. I have 2 emulated
Did we hear
controllers
about why
hooked up to this.
Dogecoin went up
Mala
today?
plans
Yes,
to
we did.
blow up. Oh wow, the background texture is flickering hardcore. Mala
What?
plans to blow up Metropolis Hydroelectric Dam. Let me see if I can fix that real quick.
Elon Musk tweeted today, and that's why Dogecoin started going up a lot.
Oh yeah, I saw that. They also
Replace
that
the
works.
Twitter logo with Doge.
with the Dogecoin, yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
that
know if
didn't
it's
help.
still up. I haven't checked yet.
What makes you think I touched it? We can see that it's damaged, Knuckles! You... Ugh. Knuckles expects me to believe that...
Oh no.
Oh, hi, Gizmo.
Hey.
Whoa. We were afraid you wouldn't.
Well, I wasn't around for the longest time because I was preparing for dinner early, and
Okay.
not only that, but Discord not Discord. My internet for some reason shat.
No, that didn't
Bad.
help.
What evidence do you have that the damage was punches? Really, Knuckles?
The categories.
You have gigantic
No, that made it worse.
fists. Hi, little kitty cat.
Meow meow ho.
What am I? Why do I have to play it at a runner just to distract Knuckles?
I'm surprised that the kitty cat has not tried for my pizza yet.
This makes no sense. Someone try to help me make sense of this.
Okay, Mala plans to blow up Metropolis Hydroelectric Dam and flood the city. Superman must find and disarm bombs before it's too late. Okay.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Oh,
Okay. So it turns out Vector
okay.
scored 1
Ow.
point higher than Knuckles on Super
Superman.
Monkey Ball.
Superman, Clark. Can you punch?
No.
Can you punch? Why is your health bar going down? Is this kryptonite? These are kryptonite lasers, aren't? Yeah, they're green. They're kryptonite.
No, that's not
Why-
kryptonite lasers. Those are just lasers directly from the satellite of the CW.
Superman and
Superman
Lois
just-
was the only good CW show after a while. Get up! There we go.
That's saying something. This is coming from the guy that actually likes Legends of Tomorrow.
I mean, I liked Legends of Tomorrow. I liked first season of Legends, anyways.
But some of the stuff didn't make sense. the
Season
decision.
2 was okay. Because the access go to the canal, but at the same time, there was a bunch of stuff in it that made me really angry, and then this, as the show went on,
Alright,
and
Vector's
they
a
got-
common name?
Why am I...
What?
Hey,
Whatever.
Knuckles, are you daft?
God, that was the worst thing I'd ever seen. The
What?
King Arthur shit.
The Guinevere being a warrior instead of, being just a maiden.
Yeah, oh, and her having an affair with, Sarah.
Yeah, okay,
God
yeah, we
damn it.
get it. You're a womanizing lesbian. Could you not do that with literally
Even though,
every
she was
woman historical figure you see?
bisexual in Arrow, you know.
Nah, I feel like they said
Ah.
that just in Arrow, and they decided to just make her lesbian
Yes.
with exceptions in the Legends of
Okay,
Tomorrow.
Clark. Solid Snake knows how a security card works. Can you maybe?
Ugh.
I'm gonna have to
Well,
go
no,
to
he
the
doesn't
controls
because he has to
Still
deal
no
with.
Chris Chan
You're
sightings
saying that
after-
Solid Snake knows how the key card works. No, he doesn't because he has to deal with a lot
I'm
of.
sucking at this game.
grab with
Solid
B,
Snake
throw
has to
punch
deal with a lot of gimmicks.
Guys, how after a week has there still been no sighting of Chris Chan?
Activate events with B. Okay.
I pressed the
I'm
space
trying
bar.
to.
Why do I have to think?
Deja vu.
Why do I have to do this thinking
What are you
mini
doing
game? And when I could just say, Knuckles, are you daft?
Are you Daft Punk?
No.
But is he Daft Punk?
No. We'd
So
know
I
if
presume,
he were daft.
I presume all of you guys saw the fact that WWE and the UFC are now owned by the same company, right?
How much you want to bet 95% of the UFC matches are going to be fixed?
I don't think, unless they start doing like official crossovers with WWE, I don't think that's gonna go.
Always bro.
Well, that's, you know what? That's kind of debatable, honestly. Maybe, yeah. Like how boxing has had a bunch of matches where it's been obviously fixed. Where
No,
do I
but-
use this fucking card?
Well, the thing is with boxing and UFC, while they're still relying on the person's skill and will and stuff like that, WWE literally relies on script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what we could have done?
If
Instead of
WWE was buying out UFC, it would make, I'd say 100% that they're gonna start scripting matches. But,
It's the UFC that bought WWE.
yeah, since UFC wound up going with WWE instead, I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah.
You gotta do the center computer, Alex.
Oh, center computer? Okay.
Yes.
Hey, maybe then we'll actually get to see some hardcore matches return instead of it coming every 10 years now.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Center computer in the
Mark.
first room.
Center computer in the first room.
Yes.
Those are the
Yeah.
kind of matches I always miss because that got them to get creative, especially when it came to guys like McFoley and Dean Ambrose.
He literally controls like Chris Redfield.
Like, think about it like this.
Only the controls are less intuitive.
You're familiar with hardcore matches from WWE.
All the other names on the arcade machine have food names besides
Oh,
Knuckles
hang on.
and Vector, or except for Ultim. I
Well, guess
wonder who
I guess
that could
must
be.
have worked because it went by.
Wait,
I
how
did that
many?
earlier and it didn't
The
work.
ultimate life form?
Okay,
You're
do
familiar
game-
with hardcore
game.
matches that came around in WWF, WCW, ECW, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, one I really, really want them to actually bring back because, as far as I know, only ECW did this. Is a bring your own weapons match, and what I mean by this is like we're not going to see like McFoley, like we're not going to see like a wrestler bringing a trash can full of stuff or like a cart. No. ECW did this differently because what they did was they'd allow fans to bring anything they wanted, and depending how close that wrestler was, they could grab it from your hands
I'm
if they wanted to and use that as
Just
the weapon.
punch her.
I'm trying
Like,
to,
people-
but
People
Okay,
brought
there we
street
go.
signs. People brought like hockey sticks. There was even one time where someone brought in like an actual fucking dildo and used that to
What?
bash someone's head in ECW. Yeah, I forgot which wrestler that said it. I could have been.
Oh wait,
McFoley.
Alex, you're not supposed to fight her yet. You're supposed to take out the bombs and then fight her.
It could have been
okay, I
Devon. It
just
could have
found
been
a Superman
McFoley.
logo, and for some reason that gave me health back.
But what
Yeah,
happened was in one of the ECW.
Oh, and it also has a
matches-
bullet. It's being deflected sound effect.
What happened was in one of the ECW matches of Bring Your Own Weapons match, one of the
All
fans
side doors are open. Okay.
one of the fans brought home like what's practically just a dildo, and just one of the wrestlers were near
So the
enough-
penetrator from Saints Row then.
Considering this is before that.
Now we're in the library. Seriously, there's quite a bit of production value in this visual novel of an April Fool's Day joke.
Think more Lock, Stock, 2 Smoking Barrels. And he beat him to death with a 12-inch black rubber cock.
Ouch. That's both cruel and unusual.
It was pretty
I
much
think
like
that'd
that.
count more as cool and unusual punishment.
Hilarious and unusual punishment.
No, it's still cruel and unusual. 'Cause why would you do that?
Yeah, but at the same time, are you really going to keep your face straight when you announce to the family of the deceased that you died of getting beat to death by a BBC dildo?
Clark.
It's going to be like, oh, your son got beat up by a...
That would be something Bender would do.
It's like, your son got beat up by a black dildo.
I
The
would
mother would be
tr-
like, you got beat up by my what? I mean, a what?
I'll be right back. I got a phone call.
With this.
So Espio's got a rose, and he will recite poetry. Ding. La la la, dee 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 dee.
Let me see if I can get some news topics here, because I found a lot of interesting shit.
Well, aside from on the Blue Beetle movie that'll be coming out in August, it's like it was good, and then George Lopez decided to not be funny.
It's George Lopez. Everything that comes out of his mouth is practically bullshit at this point. The only reason why I liked him was because of one or two stand-ups and George Lopez's show.
Yeah, I love that show. I
Yeah,
never missed an episode of that when I was a kid.
Yeah, his character, his actual persona is a fucking jackass. Like he doesn't want to.
You know, in that regard, he kind of reminds me of Linkara, because Linkara's show persona.
Linkara's a bit.
But yeah, Linkara's show persona is like much more enlightened than he is in real life.
And in real life, he's a bitch.
He called him his reviewing show a day job.
Even though he doesn't make any profit off of it.
No.
You know, if he stopped burning the comics, he'd probably make a profit off of it. Because he could sign
Didn't he
them
make a
and
video
sell them.
whining about ad blockers?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He complained that people were ad blocking his AdSense. And
Yeah,
that
and
they
Ace's
should-
response video was just fucking funny. Like,
No, at least Mundane Matt was a little bit less,
turn off your pesky ad block.
yeah, at
turn
least
off
he
your
was
pesky ad
a bit,
block.
good-humored about it. And
Well,
Rizzling
until
Cole
they-
was like,
well,
oh,
it's-
people are stealing from me. Maybe
Mundane
you
Matt
wouldn't put,
wanted
if
to
you
tag
wouldn't put
tweet
unskippable
for
ads in the middle of your damn videos, those I'd be less likely to put on ad block. You guys remember Blip TV? I used to actually watch videos on Blip TV because guess what? The ads were short and skippable.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to. Like there was I blocked ads on YouTube still block ads on YouTube now. But I started blocking ads on YouTube a very long time ago because they rendered the platform unusable, and they still do to this day.
The only reason I'll ever pay for them to not play ads on my YouTube channel is if I were to, like, let's say, look up YouTube on the TV. Because there are going to be times where I'm going to be
Mirage Express manual.
There's going to be
I
times
have a
where I'm
Fire
away from my
Stick, and I can block ads on YouTube TV.
I'm just saying, there's going to be times where I'm going to be away from my computer or my phone is like almost out of batteries. You know, I sometimes I just want to put something up on YouTube while I lay on the couch and like eat some spaghetti or like a bowl of cereal, and then it's like, hey,
Oh, Professor
I've already
Pickles
interacted
photo
with
is
this
here.
Clark. Stop.
well,
Tank controls
first,
were a mistake.
First bit of news I think everybody should know if they're ever interested in buying or playing Resident Evil 4, the remake. It has a game-breaking bug.
Yep. I saw that.
I heard that
the
they're
develop-
trying to fix that, but
The developers of the new Resident Evil 4 remake have alerted players about a critical bug that can be found in Chapter 12. Kind of odd that it's that far. Despite delivering a mostly smooth experience with several gameplay changes from the original RE4, bugs like this can prevent gamers from finishing the RE4 remake story. Excuse me. There's little doubt that RE4 is the biggest highlight of the game industry at the end of March. The game was already a stunning commercial success. And let me just jerk this dick off of Capcom a few minutes more. Capcom has recently warned Resident Evil 4 Remake gamers about a game-breaking bug that can be found at the very beginning of the chapter. Okay, that's a little more specific. According to the developers, this error occurs in a very specific situation. A cutscene will play during the first minute of the chapter. The player will get a key item. If the player uses the knife in the short period before the notification for actually gaining Lewis's key appears, the game will glitch and no... Hey, Leon says Lewis, I'm going to say Lewis.
Yeah,
the game
guess
will
what?
glitch
It's
and
pronounced
no item
Luis.
will be received, blocking further progress. Oh, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Let's see. For those who aren't worried about potential spoilers and want to make sure they don't accidentally softlock themselves, the key item in question is called Lewis Key. At the moment, the issue can be found on all platforms. Fucking really? However, the developers of Resident Evil 4 have promised to iron out the bug in the next update. Also, players who originally suffered from the issue will be able to continue playing the game when the fix is out. As the RE4 remake sold over 4 million units in its first 2 days, there's a fairly high chance that many gamers will be affected by this or a smaller issue. For the time being, however, all they can do is have multiple saves to avoid any similar bugs. Yeah, it's no bueno.
Hi,
And it's
man.
kinda odd.
Oh, hello. Why are there... Thank goodness you're here, Superman.
I
That
gotta
woman
do
has placed a
things.
bomb in each turbine room. If they go off, Metropolis will be swallowed by the flood.
And by the way, Gizmo,
Those
Luis
things from Halo.
introduced himself as Luis.
Lewis! Well, what was that, Leon?
I have
Lewis!
10 minutes to fix this.
You culturally insensitive fuck.
Dun, 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 dun,
It's called worse.
dun, 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 dun.
I'm joking. I'm not being
I am
serious.
playing
I
a
know this.
really good game.
I'm not trying to go fast.
I mean, I gotta go fast since I'm playing Sonic.
And the scale of 1 to that still exists.
Ow.
How many of you still remember Marvel's Avengers?
The video game?
Yup.
That still exists.
Yeah.
I...
Marvel's Avengers Update 2.8 makes nearly its entire marketplace available for free. The final Marvel's Avengers Update is now live, and nearly all marketplace items are completely free, including character skins and emotes, or lack thereof when it comes to skins. The final update for Marvel's Avengers is now live, and with it, every cosmetic item in the marketplace is now available
Boy,
for
that's
free.
gonna be a big fuck you to the people who made the who paid for the game.
They're probably going to issue update refunds depending on when they bought it, though.
Just to
Crystal
solve the
Dynamics
rest of the
Live.
puzzles, Superman.
Crystal Dynamics live service take on Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Only
Trying to-
lasted for
trying to
about
punch
3
you.
years before it was
Trying to
announced
punch
that all
you.
support for Marvel's Avengers would end in September. During that time, the game would add 6 new playable characters and numerous story missions, but Marvel's Avengers never truly escaped the poor reception it received at launch. As such, it was confirmed back in January that Crystal Dynamics would halt all support for Marvel's Avengers, and that the then forthcoming update 2.8 patch would be the final one. This means that there will be no more additional heroes for the game after Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Black Panther, the Jane Foster version of Thor, Jane Foster, she ain't no fucking Thor, the Winter Soldier, and the PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man, fuck you, much to the disappointment of players expecting characters like She-Hulk and War Machine, after word of their inclusion was leaked online.
Oh,
However,
goody.
the upside is that players will no longer have to pay real-world currency to unlock the game's many alternate skins.
I wonder if
Or
there's
lack
gonna be
thereof.
some kind of lawsuit over this. If they
There has to
promised
be.
War Machine, you know?
Earlier today, the official Marvel's Avengers Twitter announced that Update 2.8 is now live. This final update unlocks nearly all marketplace items for free, including the many alternate
Legal
skins
multipass.
pulled from the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I don't know, I feel like that should have been free from the beginning.
Yeah.
Additionally, the patch notes for Marvel's Avengers Update 2.8 list multiple final buffs for heroes like Thor, Winter Soldier, and Ms. Marvel. as well as several tweaks to the user interface and gear system. There will be one small hotfix labeled Update 2.8.1 that addresses one last issue with faction terminal missions. In addition to making every outfit and character emote free going forward, Update 2.8 also brings a pair of new skins for Marvel's Avengers. The first one is Iron Man's variable threat response battlesuit, which looks suspiciously like the armor worn by War Machine, and is available to any player who earned at least one Marvel's Avenger achievement before the April 1st. The second is
They could have
Thor's
told
1
us about
million...
that before they.
The second is Thor's. The second is Thor's 1 million BC outfit, which is modeled after the prehistoric garb his father Odin wore in Avengers 1 million BC storyline.
Let's join Tails.
I don't think any normie has read that comic. Update 2.8 is a bittersweet moment for fans who followed Marvel Avengers through its early controversies and post-launch struggles, as it marks the end of all official support for the game, until private servers come up. Crystal Dynamics has stated that Marvel's Avengers servers will remain online for the foreseeable future, so at least these players will be able to enjoy all of the free marketplace items after
Here we go again.
Is delisted in September. And it just shows us some updates to combat, gears, rewards, interfaces, arts, and animations. What's the phrase I'm looking for? I love to see you leave. I love even more to see you die. No, that's not it, but it's accurate.
You guys think we should get A-Log into the Mehcast?
Fuck
Hell
you.
no! Why do you keep asking?
Why would I want to ruin a show?
Yeah.
Oh shit, you do remember who he is.
The show's already ruined.
Yeah, I'm here.
You do remember who he is, Alex. Fuck.
Yeah, I remember who he is.
Chris Chan's evil twin.
No, that's the other guy.
He's like...
Chris Chan has a
A-Log
good
is like
twin.
the reverse Flash of the Chrissyverse.
Some good news when it comes to the 3DS.
Chris Chan can't have an evil twin, because Chris Chan is the evil twin of Liquid Chris.
Oh yeah!
Oh goodness.
Oh shit, Kevin
Both for
actually
answering our
remembers that
questions.
epic saga.
Send, there we go.
Okay.
Some good news when it comes to 3DS owners. 3DS owners are bringing Street Pass back. With the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U eShops taken offline, 3DS owners are looking to bring back Street Pass to keep the handheld going strong. Despite the closure of the Nintendo eShop, 3DS owners continue to keep the handheld platform alive by bringing the Street Pass feature back in a big way. Nintendo took the 3DS Wii U eShops offline just a few days ago, fuck you Nintendo, and since then many fans have been looking for ways to get more use out of the last generation of handhelds. And some are dedicated to Street Pass.
I actually had a Street Pass, or maybe it was
And
Spot
now we're in the
Pass.
casino.
Yes, I made my own Spot Pass hotspot back in the day with a router that I set to the correct
Looking for a hot
Yes,
spot,
I am the
baby,
microwave
Steve.
master.
That's awesome, man.
I need some hot
What are you
All you
doing?
have to do
Awesome.
is create a... it doesn't even have to have internet access, it just has to be a router with the name ATT Wi-Fi, and you can create your own Spot Pass router.
That's awesome.
I need some internet, baby.
Well, now we gotta go get a
this
chow egg.
Gonna have a hotspot. Gonna browse the web tonight.
So we got blueprints to the library, to the train.
I need hotspot.
Because of how
Rouge.
expensive the Nintendo 3DS game library is, tons of digital titles are now unavailable to the end of the 3DS and Wii U eShop. Oh, I already said it once, I'll say it again. Fuck you, Nintendo. Although Nintendo warned 3DS and Wii U owners for nearly a year ahead of the eShop closure, some fans were caught off guard by the change that makes buying games through the platforms themselves impossible. Although these Nintendo fans can't buy 3DS titles that are missing from their collections, They have one way to keep the handheld relevant. Twitter user Street Pass
Modding.
Love has only been on the platform since February, but they already
God.
have plenty of plans for the future, with
Oh,
one
now we gotta
event
help
already set up for
Bruce
the
steal
Nintendo 3DS
something.
players.
Yes, I tried to
Street Pass-
punch her. You know it didn't work.
Street Pass Love has confirmed that a global Street Pass event is happening from today until April 2nd, and Nintendo 3DS owners can access it from several locations. The US venues announced by Street Pass Love include MegaCon in Florida, Switch and Play in New York, Chicago Entertainment Expo in Illinois, Steel City Con in Pittsburgh, Midwest Gaming Classic in Wisconsin, Charlotte Comic Con in North Carolina, and the South Lamar Alamo in Austin, Texas, while there are also a wide array of international spots to see. Nintendo 3DS fans outside the US may be able to access the global Street Pass celebration from FACTS 2023 in Belgium, London Games Festival in the UK, Oz Comic Con in Australia, Kaizoku Con in Ireland, and Paris Manga and Sci-Fi Show in France. To reach other Street Pass players for this event, Nintendo 3DS owners will need to connect to Wi-Fi and choose the Street Pass feature from the main menu. Okay, so they're basically telling us how to do... Yeah, we know how to do Street Pass, bro. According to Street Pass Love, there's also a Discord channel. Ooh! There's also a Discord channel for 3DS owners to join
I really don't
to set
like
up future events in their area if they aren't able to attend this one. Given that this is the first major Street Pass event held by Street Pass Love, there may be several more to come as 3DS owners continue to celebrate the family.
Well, the
Nintendo
plan went
handheld.
off without a hitch. We didn't get to do any of that. We just had to plan it.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Damn, I wish
So,
I knew about this sooner, man.
Okay, so
Yes,
in
Mo,
other
I'm
news
playing the murder of Sonic the
things-
Hedgehog.
In other news of things that sound like they should have been April 1st shitposts but weren't, Michael Mann is currently in negotiations with Warner Brothers to direct a movie based on his book Heat 2 with Adam Driver playing the young Neil McCulley.
Oof.
So yeah, that's a thing. Wasn't expecting to hear about that. I was barely expecting to hear about Heat 2 even. Great job,
Alright.
Superman. Great fucking job.
Oh, great. Now it's ticking. Thanks a lot, Rouge. You doomed us all. You have doomed us. How dare you?
Why did the boxes detonate when I punched them?
Why is this egg about to explode?
How many of you are still playing Pokemon Go?
Not me.
I don't have that game.
Never started.
Nope.
It's good, but apparently there's some shit
Wait,
that
why
went on
not? Why didn't
Let's
you
see.
start,
Because
Alex?
my phone at the time got to the title screen and crashed.
They
Actually,
fixed
no,
everything.
it got to the, it got to whatever the developer name was and then crashed.
It does that sometimes. So what
Yeah.
happens?
Oh,
you have to go
Guardians of the
back to app
Galaxy
and reactivate
is
it.
going to be released 2 days early as part of a Guardians of the Galaxy, a triple feature event. I don't
Marathon.
want to do that.
I thought you
I
would
hope
do
they have
anything.
intermissions.
I thought you would do anything for love.
I won't do that, though.
Or that.
Pokemon Go,
Or this.
Pokemon Go players are going on strike to protest Niantic. Some Pokemon players are
Niantic,
calling for
that's the
fans
name
to
of
hold
the
a
company.
strike or boycott in protest of Niantic's unpopular changes to how the game is monetized. So, just to be clear, I haven't played it in a while, and the reason is because I don't have a phone plan at the moment. So there's no reason for me to go out and play Pokemon Go.
Forget
Yet.
wireless.
Cricket Wireless
Go
got
players
sold to
are organizing-
T-Mobile.
Aw.
Pokemon Go
No,
players
huh?
are organizing... Okay.
Wait,
Cricket
wait, wait,
Wireless
wait,
got
wait,
sold
wait,
to
Alex,
T-Mobile.
Alex. Wait, they got sued by
Oh,
T-Mobile.
Superman's
Sold.
on the ground again.
They got sold to T-Mobile.
No, they got sold to AT&T.
No, they got sold to T-Mobile.
Okay, this article might bring us some some
No, they
info.
didn't. They got sold to AT&T.
Pokemon Go players are organizing a strike to protest unpopular changes Niantic is making to the game. The strike, more accurately described as a short-term boycott, comes in response to Niantic's upcoming price increase to remote raid passes, but also protests the game's monetization policy in general. Niantic launched its popular augmented reality game. Okay, yeah, you're just telling us that we released the fucking game. Oh, could you stop? Some Pokemon Go players are attempting to organize what they're calling a strike, quote unquote, to make Niantic reverse its recent price hike for remote raid passes. That's it. These passes allow Pokemon Go players to participate. Oh, you're right there. These passes allow Pokemon Go players to participate in raids without being physically present at the location. Oh, okay. This was back when the pandemic was around still. According to a post on the Pokemon subreddit,
It's unpredictable.
When the
Pokemon Go's
Wuhan lab virus came out.
it's a Chinese virus up yours.
Yeah,
Pokemon Go's
but that's racist according to Lil Karibo.
Just because it came from China. Oh, so it came from China. So
Jocko says, hi, can Superman breathe underwater? Apparently.
No, he can hold his breath for infinite amounts of time, though, before and after.
You need to tell the writers of Young Justice this.
I mean, if you're fighting someone in the water, you're gonna have some breath taken out of you. Getting punched in the stomach, the chest, the face.
Rouge is just looking on her smartphone.
According to a post on Pokemon subreddit, Pokemon Go's monetization has only worsened over time, with Niantic overcharging players for loot boxes and items. The post claims that this is partially due to fans' unwillingness to stand up to Niantic and asked fans to participate in a raid strike for 1 week after the change goes into effect. The post exclaims how participants in the boycott will not purchase any boxes, remote raid passes, and premium raid passes for 7 days after the price increases. The organizer hopes that Niantic will take note if it begins losing money.
Now we're in the lounge car.
Policy changes. They believe the company may reverse its decision and be more careful if enough Pokemon Go users participate. Participants can join however many in-response raids they usually would. However, they should make sure that the number does not increase. The post also urges participants to encourage other Pokemon Go players to join the boycott, but cautious against pressuring anyone into it. Unfortunately for the person or people behind this movement, users on the Pokemon subreddit seemed unimpressed with the strike concept, and not just because some felt the term seemed a bit dramatic. As others noted, a few thousand people spending less money for a week is not likely to significantly inconvenience a multi-billion-dollar company. It's true. The short period and the fact that it's only telling Pokemon Go users spend less money instead of stepping away altogether also came across as half-measured to some. Yeah, I already knew this wasn't going to work to begin with. It's a mobile game. Literally, everyone's got them on their phones. So you're not going to stop them from playing.
Yeah.
Sonic singing a song.
That's like saying, hey, don't play Flappy Bird 2.
Well, the last time something like this happened, and it was Angry Birds. You remember what happened with Angry Birds?
They released a movie?
So, no, they put out... Rovio put out Angry Birds Classic for phones and for Android and iOS and stuff like that. And then it was 99 cents, and they took it off of the App Store and Android store after that because they said that people were playing that too much and not buying their other shit.
Let's see where the wardrobe exit leads. Oh my god, we're back in the library again.
No, but that's petty though. You're removing a game because not enough people are buying your other shit. How about use the money you get from that Angry Birds game and use it to promote your other games?
Yeah, use it.
Hey, Out the Edge. We need to speak with you.
Maybe you should use that as a model to say, hey, this is the kind of game people actually want to be playing.
Right, and maybe then you could make actual console games with that money.
Like they used to. I actually own a couple of Angry Birds games that were released on consoles.
Yeah, but it was still kind of weird seeing them on console, period. I mean, this is a game that you would usually find
flawless
on...
logic, AB. Except for all the flaws in that logic.
These are games you usually find on phones and only on phones. If anything, they only worked on the Wii U, but that's not really saying much considering
They worked on
Again,
the 3DS, kinda.
they did, but again, that does not really say much because these are not those kind of games. These are games that you literally just waste time if you just want 10 minutes more on the shitter, or if you're just waiting
Slap
for your
this
bus to
bitch.
arrive because it's 5 minutes late. This isn't something you put your all into
Super
Here we go
because
domestic
again.
violence ahoy.
this isn't really a
It's not
game that you
domestic
would put your
violence because
all
she's not
into.
my
This
wife.
isn't exactly Super Mario Brothers.
Well, I guess she was done with that fight.
Anybody remember the
Mala?
time Sonic killed the Angry Birds?
No.
He had to
Did
pay off
you
his
kill
debt to
Mala,
Mario.
Alex?
She disappeared into the wall, so I presume so.
Oh, jeez.
And Mario told Sonic that to kill the Angry Birds.
Guys,
Gizmo, you've
I
never
don't know
seen
how to
Sonic
feel
for
about
Hire?
this idea.
I have.
of-
It's just not that funny. Repeated viewings.
What about the mighty eagle proudly placing his hands on his hips, looking up to the sky, and then saying no?
I gotta take a piss. Oh, I thought you were talking about the movie. I didn't know you were talking about something
Now,
else.
that is part of the movie.
That's also the joke.
The mighty eagle, they were going to him for help. Oh, but then he refused to help them, and then with some Rick Astley, he decides to motivate himself to go help them.
Jocko says she kinda bad. Yeah, she is, but
Jocko, the
never-
Galactic Patrolman?
you don't get with crazy.
You don't stick your dick in crazy unless you're dead
No.
shot.
Unless you're,
Unless you're
unless that
dead
girl also
shot.
happens to be Harley Quinn.
Yeah, again, unless you're dead shot.
Okay, more news. Officially, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has now banned Steve from competitive play.
Oof.
That's funny. I've been seeing so many videos out there debating
How?
if they should do this or not.
Why?
So here's what I was able to get from just watching the few videos I was able to watch about that subject. The reason
Because
why
I
people,
defeated Minecraft Steve's Online when the character first launched as King K. Rool.
so when he
I
was
don't know.
released and
People have been-
introduced into competitive play, what people would do is that if they were to use the recovery attack, whoever played as Steve would just place a block right above them, and that would prevent them from even reaching the stage, and then they would fall to their doom.
I
That's
completely
just one-
obliterated
that's
Knuckles'
just the
Detector
short
in that
version.
whatever game. I left the saloon car. Spent
Here's
some time
the-
looking for Espio, but he was not there. He was not in
Here's
the library.
the long version. The Super Smash Bros. Ultimate community has been implementing a ban on Minecraft's Steve, banning both the character and players who main him from competitive tournaments. Hold up, what? The players too? It's a little unfair.
What?
The
Shouldn't
community
they be
has
able
been in...
to play a different character?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. They'll probably mention this a little later. The community has been in an uproar about Steve's usage
Go
of
again.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate since the end of February, due to a hit stun cancel technique that many quickly cited as an unfair advantage. The ban has finally started being implemented after the results at the competitive Super Smash Bros. Ultimate tournament, Smash Ultimate Summit 6. Minecraft Steve was added to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate back in October 2020, and he was initially hailed as a highly anticipated and beloved addition to the roster. His
Now he's
inclusion
basically
was-
the Mennonite of the game.
His inclusion was so shocking that it literally broke Twitter for a couple of hours, more like a couple of days, from the sheer amount of people trying to send out their reactions. His moveset was also widely praised as it was incredibly faithful to the mechanics of Minecraft, modern Minecraft. This, however, also shook the metagame to a significant degree, with the game no longer being updated full-time. Competitive players have come to resent the character and have pushed for the character's ban. This I know. This was due to the upset victory from the young Japanese Steve main, A Cola, where the 16-year-old prodigy managed to beat several Smash Ultimate professionals at Smash Ultimate Summit
Why
6,
does he keep including me too?
such as MK Leo, Tweet, and others to win the whole thing, greatly upsetting many viewers.
First
Many
one.
attempted
But I did.
Many pointed out
This
that the
looks like a
character's
joke for
counterplay has been countered and that both the player and character's playstyle haven't been fully optimized yet, and it is causing this many headaches and grief. As a result, the character has already been banned in tournaments that take place in the state of Michigan, Australia, and Venezuela. Fucking A. The character ban is still being greatly discussed with the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate community, with the potential ban being announced at another tournament, CEO 2023. Tournament organizer Alex Jabali stated that he'd be using the DreamHack San Diego tournament as a test study to see if Steve warrants a ban.
Right.
Jabali states that if Steve wins at the tournament, then he'll be forced to ban the character from offline tournaments. The Super Smash Bros. Franchise has a history of broken characters, with Ultimate being no exception. Dragon Quest's Hero has been banned when it was added to the game in 2019, with several DLC characters afterwards being targeted, including Steve. Some have compared the situation to when Bayonetta was added in the fourth game, to which she had dominated the competition over professionals when she wasn't outright banned. Others hope for a last-minute patch for the game that will address all of Steve's overwhelming advantages, but it remains to be seen if such an update is in the cards. Yeah, I think it's justified. If you know how to use Steve, he can be a cheap motherfucker.
Steve only Final Destination.
No.
You know what you know what the best solution is? They should make you compete as Steve.
Ooh, yes. And no, the comparison to Meta Knight is not really. Yeah, I don't see it. Look, like the reason why I don't see the comparison between the two is because with Meta Knight, literally anybody can use him, and he was banned for a short while, all because of his neutral B. Not his side B, up B, down B, his neutral B special move. That's one of the main reasons people wanted him banned, was because of that move.
Okay, Mala got stuck.
And people were...
Oh, God.
Kamala Harris, what?
No.
Kamala
Mala
Harris
got
got
stuck.
stuck.
Kamala Khan?
No.
Oh, no,
Mala.
I wish.
No, I know who he's talking about. I'm just gonna fuck with him a little more.
Okay, here's from PC Gamers. How many of you bought The Last of Us?
I didn't. I had the PS4 version, and that was something else I wanted to talk about. So let's not read off the thing. Let's just talk about this. So the PC version of The Last of Us is a broken pile of nonsense, and it's mostly down to the fact that what's the company that made it? Thanks a fucking long game.
Sony?
It's Iron Galaxy. So Iron Galaxy, the guys who made the Metroid Prime remastered,
and
they ported this. These are also the guys who were responsible, by the way, for Arkham Knight
and
on PC and Arkham Origins and all of the PC versions of the Arkham games. So yeah, Iron Galaxy, known for their awesome Switch and console ports of games, also known for their awful PC ports of games. So
you can't really say that Prime Remastered is a full-on port, or when it's
they ported, remastered, remade games. They've done all kinds of stuff, and their Switch games and console games tend to be really good. For some reason, their PC games tend to be awful, because, I don't know why, they just don't know how to do it, and apparently, The Last of Us Remastered is having... Jocko says, I'm on a Smash Bros. Team, I like the new band, because I hate DLC. Yeah. But yeah, apparently, The Last of Us takes like an hour to compile the shaders,
Mm-hmm.
And
something's happened.
An hour?
Yeah, it takes an hour to compile the shaders, and after that it's like an hour before you get to the main gameplay. So, basically the game keeps you from the game Steam had to make an exception to their 2-hour refund policy, and they're just giving people refunds, no questions asked, because the PC version of the game was so fucked up, and the graphics.
Bless you.
The graphics look worse than they do on the PS4, which is pathetic. The game runs worse, even on like high-end processors, than it did on the PS4, which is also pathetic. And
All right.
it's just all around not as good as it
solve
was on
this
the
case.
PS4, which tells me that you know, somebody done fucked up.
Somebody.
Okay, Clark.
Thank you for releasing me. Thank you for releasing
Somebody
me.
once told me.
More
Donkey.
gaming news. How many of you played Atomic Heart?
Nope.
Nope.
Never even heard of it.
Who wants to play Atomic Heart?
Yeah.
I'd be alright with playing Atomic Heart. It looks
They
pretty
revealed, well, they revealed that not only are they going to have DLC, but they teased how long it's going to be. Mundfish has announced new details about the DLC for Studio's first game, Atomic Heart. Atomic Heart was released in February 2023, with multiple DLC packs confirmed to be on the way. Some of the DLC has already been released, such as cosmetics.
Who would
like
do this to
skins,
Sonic on her birthday, no less?
but little has been revealed about the story DLC.
Well, let's stop
Atomic Heart's release has been marred by controversy concerning the developer's connection to Russia. There have been allegations that the developer has accepted money from Russian energy corporations, shared user data with the Russian government, and refused to renounce the war in Ukraine. They're a gaming company.
it.
Why the fuck would you care? Yeah, as a result of these allegations, many of which Mundfish denies, Ukraine called for the game to be boycotted on various platforms, including Steam.
This looks like a
Despite
job
these
for
calls, the
Superman.
game remains easily available in most countries. Most? Atomic Heart, a first-person shooter with RPG elements, has genuinely been generally well received. The game was developed a cult following that is anxiously awaiting news regarding the upcoming DLC. The game currently contains approximately 25 hours worth of content to play through the story. While its setting and art directions are generally praised, critics of Atomic Heart have found that the game's dialogue is a bit much and that some of the combat encounters, especially melee fights, can begin to feel repetitive.
Look, if it's
different
better than
languages.
BioShock, I'll take it. Because the original BioShock was just kind of lame.
Or The Order 1943.
1886, but yes.
Who cares? That game was shit.
Yeah.
He's once sped read a book to spoil the ending for Knuckles.
Run, shoot, duck, movie. Run, shoot, duck, movie. And then sometimes it's just run, movie, run. Mundfish has announced via Twitter that one of its next DLCs for Atomic Heart will take 6 hours to complete. This is fairly impressive, as this would make it a touch longer than a lot of other DLC releases out there. It also means that at least one of the DLC packs will increase the game's playtime by roughly 25%, on top of whatever is contained in other 3 announced DLCs. Each of the 4 DLCs will focus on the single-player campaign and add a new location for players to explore. Atomic Heart has not given a release date for the DLC, although many players expect the expansions to be released sometime over the next year and a half. It is not clear how much the DLC will cost on its own, but purchasers of the Premium Edition are automatically enrolled in the game's Season Pass, and will have access to the 4 upcoming story DLCs.
SBO.
One thing many players are hoping for in the upcoming DLC is Atomic Heart moving further from its deep aesthetic connection to BioShock and forging its own distinct identity, but that remains to be seen.
I mean, it's an Art Deco game. BioShock was steeped in the Art Deco art style. Well, there's not really anything else you can say about it.
The robots.
Big Daddies.
No, I'm not talking about Big Daddies.
The big
Or
mommies.
Big Sisters. or Big Mommy. Internet, let me ask you this one thing. Please stop being horny over the robots. This isn't Android 18 we're talking about here.
The internet says no.
She ain't got no mouth, and you know she wants to scream.
Ha ha ha.
And not in that way. Okay, this one is a little
Does she not
surprising
want
for me.
anybody else?
This was a little surprising for me because I have not played this yet. I've wanted to, and I am now just hearing about this. Ark fans are outraged. Outraged. Ark fans are outraged by free, quote unquote, update and server shutdowns. Ark Survival Evolved fans are in an uproar right now as the game's current servers are set to shut down soon, and it seems they will need to pay once again to keep playing the game. To make matters even worse, the sequel to Ark Survival Evolved was delayed to the end of 2024. Originally out in early access a few years ago, Ark Survival Evolved was a huge indie game. Despite mixed initial reviews, it sold more than 5 million units over the years, which allowed the developer Studio Wildcard to announce Ark 2 back in 2020. Unfortunately, Ark 2's release date was pushed back to 2024 recently, due to the technical limitations of the developers who are now using Unreal Engine 5 for the sequel. This was just the first bad news Ark would get, though, as a new update is set to make things even worse. This week, Studio Wildcard affirmed that the current Ark Survival Evolved servers will shut down as the upcoming Ark Survival Ascended update is rolled out. This did not bode well with the community, and many are angry that they will need to pay for the game twice, despite previous promises that the update will be free. When the Ark Survival Ascended update is released, Xbox and PC players must pay $49.99 for the Ark Respawn bundle, which includes Ark 2 to get it, while PlayStation gamers will pay $39.99 if players acquire the new edition. They will get their saves transferred and keep playing one of the best survival games.
Okay, hang on. I think I know why they did this. They made Ark free a little while ago. And they probably got a bunch of, well, it was a brief free period, but it was still, free, and it was free to keep. So what I'll bet you happened is they got a shitload of people who got it for free, and those guys, didn't pay for anything, and they want to try and make those guys pay for the game again. Because they didn't have to pay for it before.
This.
Yeah, but they made it free.
Yeah, I know.
They made it for themselves. This isn't like a hacker job or anything, or a disgruntled employee just doing this out of malice. They made this for themselves. Besides, they've already made a lot of money from this, so why would they just now say, hey, you gotta pay again? Cunts. In the official Ark Survival Evolved subreddit, it's not hard to find posts criticizing the decision. One post created by I Won by Default, for instance, shares a few images of previous promises made by the developers stating that the new update before the launch of Ark 2 would be free when it's not. In the comments, other gamers criticize the high price tag of $40 for the game, while others find it unacceptable to pay after the previous promises. At the moment, Studio Wildcard has not commented on the decision or tried to appease the community.
Clark.
The rage of the Ark Survival Evolved community is proportional to the level of care that they often put in the game. Some months ago, an Ark player spent over 100 hours...
Here we go again with the thinking. I don't like thinking, guys.
So, it's always disappointing to see the so-called free update being gated behind a fee when there's such a dedicated community that has been playing the game for the last 5 years. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah.
You know the private servers are going to pop up anyway, but it's not going to be the same.
Yar har fiddle-dee dee.
Yeah, it's a multiplayer game. That's going to be difficult.
I mean, if people are able to make private servers for MMO games, this shouldn't be any different. People have made People have made private servers for the entire Xbox.
Actually, I think there is a private server option, so who knows?
11-year-old game is back at the top of Xbox's best sellers list.
Okay,
Guess
guys, you know what would be great? Lift. Superman, stop sucking.
Take a
Superman
guess
doesn't
what
know
it
how to
is.
lift. He conveniently forgot that power up when entering the digital world.
Oh, you motherfucker.
So
Haven't even
11
gotten
years
to the
ago,
fucking bombs
the Xbox 360 was reigning supreme, along with the PS3 and Wii. The Wii U hasn't been out yet. PS4 hasn't been announced. Neither was Xbox One, I think. So, what game do you think has topped the charts of bestseller again?
Modern Warfare?
What?
A game from 11 years ago. Modern Warfare?
Yeah, one of the Modern Warfare games.
Anyone else? Any guesses?
I'm trying to eat my ice cream here.
Give me that ice cream then. Damn.
No.
What flavor?
Meanwhile, I'm trying to play an endless running simulator in the midst of this
Bathwater
visual novel.
flavored Gizmo.
It's what flavor?
Bathwater, Belle Delphine flavored.
Are you sure it's Belle Delphine or is it Janet Mason flavor?
You don't remember the Wait,
It's-
Janet Mason also sold
It's ice cream
Bathwater?
flavored ice cream.
No, but you know she's gonna think about it.
No way.
She might. I mean, I don't know.
Gizmo, you know what flavor it is? It's ice cream flavored.
It's whoop ass flavor. The game
There's
is
a
Call of
star
Duty.
of that Gizmo
Oh, one of the Black Ops
favor
games.
that
Okay.
has
That
the
makes
same.
sense.
Whose last name is basically my first name.
They don't know. So Alex was the one that was the closest. It's not Modern Warfare, but it is a Call of Duty game. It's Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Oy.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is nearly 11 years old at this point, yet it's found itself back at the top of Xbox's best sellers list. Treyarch and Activision first released Call of Duty Black Ops back in 2012 to widespread acclaim. I only played it for the zombies mode.
This looks
Everybody
like a job
played
for
it for
Superman.
zombies, nothing else.
Yeah.
Same thing
well,
with 3, same thing with first one. No, I don't know about the fourth one, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing anything other than regular ass dude with gun versus dude with gun.
I thought you were gonna say
Fast-paced.
doo-doo for a second.
I mean, come on, like
How
a
did I
game that
explode?
fast with areas that open.
did I
what's the
explode
point of having
again?
a sniper rifle? Let's see. No, I read that. For one, it's one of the last Call of Duty games that was released without having a heavy microtransaction focus, with the game instead monetizing its
Yeah.
post-launch content through traditional paid DLC expansions. Secondly, it features some of the most popular zombie maps in Call of Duty history, along with some of the franchise's best online multiplayer offerings. Until
Yep.
April 4th,
and offline.
until April 4th, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is discounted from its hefty $49.99 price tag all the way down to $14.99. With the digital
Go
version
buy a
of Call of
physical
Duty-
copy. Go buy a physical
I'd rather
copy
do that.
used. It costs like $5.
or less if you're lucky.
Yeah.
With the digital version of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 still selling for $49.99 over a decade after its release, bruh, go fuck yourself. It's
Yeah,
perhaps
this
not
Activision for you.
They're dumbasses. But, you know, they did give me Spider-Man.
And here's the thing, Call of Duty, it's literally the same thing over and over again.
Unless you look at their other modes, then it's not really. But that's semantics. It's perhaps
also-
not all...
Ah. What I'd
It's
appreciate
perhaps-
is if these... You suck, Superman.
Let me look at this list right here.
So, Alex, are you thinking of not buying a Superman comic anymore after this?
Well, I already didn't buy DC Comics anymore, so...
Would you
Oh, yeah.
rather play Superman's on Commodore 64 instead?
Yes.
At least it's an actual game.
Are you sure we could call it a game?
On Commodore
As much
64,
as you can call any Commodore 64 game a game.
here's the top 15 best-selling games on Xbox One right now. Or no, like altogether. 15, Call of Duty World at War. Number 14, EA Sports FIFA 23 Standard Edition. Number
Why?
13, Forza Horizon 5 Premium Add-ons Bundle. That's not a game, but okay.
Yeah,
Number
that's
12.
DLC.
Number 12, Red Dead Redemption 2 Ultimate Edition.
Okay.
Surprising. Number 11, Minecraft.
Oh!
Not
Number
surprising.
10.
That game is always going to be popular.
Number 10, MLB The Show 23 Xbox Series X.
Huh. I wouldn't think
Huh.
that would be particularly popular, but
Right.
actually, you know what? MLB The Show is surprisingly good, so who knows?
Number 9, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Deluxe Edition.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, here's a more surprising one. Number 8, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies Deluxe.
Just the zombies, or...
It looks like it.
In your head.
To be perfectly fair, I didn't buy Black Ops 3, and I had no intention of doing so, and I still don't, so...
I did like the ad for it, though.
After I found out that they stripped the single player out of the Xbox 360 PS3 version, then I
Yeah,
didn't
that made
really
no sense
care.
to me.
and there was no reason to do that. The game was not that technologically advanced.
I mean, it was so asinine. Capcom thought it was a good idea for their Street Fighter game.
Which one?
5.
Street Fighter
Oh.
5 was on... Okay, they patched a single-player campaign into 5 eventually.
They shouldn't have to, though. It's a fighting game. People care about their characters enough to want a story mode.
Except the story mode kind of sucked.
It did.
You know what would be a great game? Is if, rather than making me... Here we go.
Number 7, WWE 2K23 on Xbox
I've heard that
One.
game is alright, so that makes sense.
We'd have to ask Fran about that.
I
Yeah.
stopped at 17. They'd have to convince me otherwise to get another
Yeah, well,
2K
after the
WWE
mess
game.
that was the last several, well, I can't hardly blame you.
Call of Duty Black Ops number 6. The first one. I mean, that makes sense. It was the first one to bring back zombies mode.
Yeah,
Number
Black Ops
5.
and World at War Zombies were awesome, so I can
Number
hardly
5.
blame people.
Number 5,
Especially
Grand
considering
Theft
the
Auto
regular
5.
World at War multiplayer was kind of not great.
I liked it for what it was. Number 5, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay.
Makes sense. Number 4, an NBA 2K23 Digital Deluxe Edition.
Why?
Yeah.
Why indeed?
Who cares about the NBA games at this point? Either give me Jam or nothing. Number 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Cross-Gen Bundle.
Nah.
Nope.
Duty.
We know that Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is still on number 1, but you know what number 2? Do you know what number 2 is?
Oh my god.
Superman is not doing
He's
it
not
for you,
here right
Alex.
now.
Number 2, MLB The Show 23 Xbox One. Of all games. Not a single fighting game on here.
That's lame.
No Killer Instinct. Oh, fighting games look like they're too hard to get into. Bitch, and first-person shooters aren't? Give me that shit. You quickly go to Call of Duty. Call of Duty looks more easy to put the sniper rifle up my butt.
Oh my god.
So anyway, yeah, I don't think I need to go any further than that. Let's see here. Oh, Destiny 2 players aren't happy with rewards from Legend activities. How many of you
I
played
wish
Destiny?
that
I
I could
have
turn
not
back
touched it.
time. 'Cause now the
Oh.
guilt is all mine. Can't live
Alex,
without the trust from those you love.
you
I
play a little
know
Destiny, Destiny,
can't
can't
forget
escape
the
Destiny.
past. You can't forget love and pride. Because of that, it's killing me inside.
I don't think anyone here cares about Destiny 2 then.
No.
All right, let me skip to this one then. This one's a little relevant to YouTube. Anime reaction video creators are suffering a YouTube content crackdown. This can mean anything.
I'm done.
Anime reaction videos have become the target of copyright strikes and channel terminations. According to an article from Anime Senpai, a number of popular reaction channels have reported these copyright strikes in recent weeks, with most of them facing channel termination within 7 days of being notified. One channel is Anime Spirit, known for analyzing and reacting to episodes of the popular Japanese series Doraemon. Doraemon production studio Shin-A Animation flagged the channel's content, which subsequently received 13 different counts of copyright strikes. However, the creator has pushed back against these claims, labeling them false strikes and citing the fair use policy to defend their video's originality.
Okay, so if they have the video playing, you know, that's gonna be difficult to argue, but you know, if they do like we do,
Yeah. Yeah, if they do like we do, and it's just the audio.
I kind of
from
doubt
our
it, to be
side.
honest, because they wouldn't
No,
have gotten.
because nobody really listens to the audio because nobody can hear the audio.
Yeah.
It's
Or,
just our voices
like,
or your
yeah,
voices.
just us talking.
It's not like we're reacting to. It's not like how we're reacting to internet videos like Death Battle or even like Top 11 Nostalgia Critic stuff. These are straight up like stuff that's put on television for people to watch at a certain schedule. Another channel hit with copyright strike was Awake Production, known for the reaction to hit shows like My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan. The creator urged viewers to subscribe to their backup channel, with the termination of their main channel seemingly imminent. Awake is another channel that has protected its videos under fair use, a section of 1976 Copyright Act that permits the use of limited portions of a work for purposes such as commentary, criticism, and news reporting. However, the limits of fair use are far from clear cut. The official U.S. copyright website states that whether a particular use of qualifies as fair use depends on all the circumstances, an ambiguous ruling that has left the door open for this recent surge in copyright strikes. The anime community has mixed feelings over these recent copyright claims, with some supporting reaction channels and others skeptical of them. While reaction channels profit from their videos, anime fans have cited the numerous cases of underpaid and overworked Japanese animators who often receive little to no compensation for undeniably grueling work. Meanwhile, defenders of reaction channels have called
It happened
attention to the
again.
considerable and overlooked work that goes into crafting their content. With creators like Awake Productions praise for the thoughtful
there it is.
analysis they provide alongside the initial gut reaction to
AM4.
episodes, which often leads to
AM4.
dismissal of the medium by those unfamiliar with it. While YouTube continues its crackdown on reaction videos, the medium's future remains uncertain. Only time will tell whether this is a temporary setback for channels or a permanent shift in the world of anime fan content. Here's my thing. I think the only reason why there are some people who are for this is because they're thinking of the old school reaction channels. Like putting like a video player on the corner and then they watch it, a whole episode or movie or series of episodes, and literally don't do anything except for the occasional gasp or giggle.
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god.
It's
Oh.
Derp Devil.
Nowadays, though, I don't think there are many reaction channels that are like that anymore. There's there's a reaction channel that I know of. I don't remember what it's called, but there's a reaction channel where it has like the mother and her two daughters. They would watch movies and react to them by the suggested by their fans. And what they do is that, well, yeah, they still do that thing where it's like the movie's playing on the like in the bottom right corner or like on the other side of the video player. What they do is that they make the movie either transparent just a bit,
Yeah,
or
kind of
they
like
or
kind of
they
like how
make
I
the
did for the
video.
Kingdom Hearts video.
Yeah, or what they do is like they let the movie play, but they will cut large portions of it out if they don't react to it.
Yeah, that's how Mauler does it.
Yeah, so those are the kind of reaction channels where I feel like it's not really justified when it comes to copyright anything or like strikes, because those guys know what they're doing. They know what to edit out. They know for how long
Oh,
a
no,
clip
this
can
is the
stay
main
up,
game.
that kind of thing. But when it comes to people like, let's say, Lucy, no, I was gonna say, yeah. When it comes to reaction channels like what was her name, Lucy Liu or something like that. What was her? I think that
Lucy
was
Liu
her.
is the actress.
No, yeah, I'm thinking of another Liu. Or Lu, let me see. Let me see if I can look her up on YouTube. There are people who legitimately react to whole movies and whole anime episodes.
Yeah, without without adding a whole lot of commentary to it. And granted, like
Right.
a COD v not a COD, Benjamin Hughes v
Suzy Liu.
Benjamin, and is a fairly decent ruling to cite, and I hope that people cite it quite heavily. But
Oh, here you go. Suzy Liu. Her name is Suzy Liu. She's very infamous for doing what I just said, reacting to whole episodes with no cuts and barely any reaction. And what's made it worse though is that she's the worst kind of reaction. When people
yeah,
called her out for what she was doing, reacting to whole episodes with no cuts or anything like that, she would act.
Oh,
If you talked about it openly on YouTube, like
fuck.
say you made a video
what
about her,
slingshot
she would
random
she
what?
would be infamous for striking it down or like saying how you deserved it or it's art what I'm doing, that kind of thing, insult you. She
Remember the
would
triad
basically
has reached out
say that you're everything
for
but the son of the
contact us.
devil if you criticize her for her anime reactions. Because that's what she was doing. She was literally reacting to whole anime episodes and leaving it up on YouTube so people could just look at the episode instead of her if they wanted to. And she's a bitch too. Fuck you, Suzy Lou, trying to
I
fucking
got
flag down PewDiePie.
friends in low places.
So I can see that Alex has quit Superman 64 in favor of SOCOM.
I'm gonna
XCOM.
guess Lucy Liu is one of the
Whatever.
few that
Suzy
you
Lou.
would not smash.
Lucy
Gizmo.
Lou, I'd smash. Suzy Lou is another story. She's a YouTuber that gets on my fucking nerves. She almost tried to. She almost tried to. She threatened to copyright strike PewDiePie all because she was criticized for being a reactionary channel or whatever the fuck. Like, oh, she said what about me? I'm a copy strike him. I'm a copy strike him.
It won't take long for them to realize I'm missing.
I'm a
Especially
copy
since I
strike
got
him.
this
He
thing with
he
me.
said shit about me.
If
I'm a
you take
copy
me with
strike
you,
him.
it's
Fuck you,
all
Suzy Lou.
yours.
You
Fuck
make content.
you. Fuck you very, very much.
So, and in other news that will bring us a little smile question mark to your face. One Piece creator believes the franchise can succeed without him.
One
Sure
what?
about that, Oda?
The One Piece creator believes the franchise can succeed without him.
Are you sure about that, Oda?
Ichiro Oda, the author and illustrator of the One Piece manga, believes the series would succeed without him if health issues forced him to step down. According to Twitter user Sandman, Oda mentioned the possibility of the One Piece series continuing without him in a 2017 interview. A lot of staff are involved in the One Piece industry, Oda said. but I don't feel any pressure at all because I don't feel any responsibilities other than the manga. It wouldn't have a big impact even if OP were to suddenly come to an end due to my health. Oda's comments about his health possibly deteriorating in the future aren't unfounded. In late May, it came to light that Oda had been suffering from sleep deprivation, causing him to sleep for only 3 hours. Per daily
Jesus
dose of anime,
Christ.
Oda's sleep routine had been sleeping at 9 a.m., waking at noon. However, his assistant's sleep schedule has been 5 a.m. to noon. Health issues for those who work in the anime and manga business aren't uncommon, nor are they exclusive to the Japanese industry. However, the issue is becoming more prevalent as more anime and manga creators share the struggle with their fans. Yoshihiro Togashi, the creator of Hunter x Hunter, has had to put a series on multiple hiatuses over the years
Oh my
due
god.
to his chronic back pain. Togashi's poor health has affected his ability to draw and
Shouldn't
how he
allow
lives
the
his
thin
life.
men to just spawn like that.
Kohei Hirokoshi, the creator of My Hero Academia, also had to put his series on hiatus because of poor health. After a
Yep,
week,
I remember that.
After a 2-week break, the manga resumed publication on March 26th. Many within the My Hero Academia fandom criticized Weekly Shonen Jump, the publisher of all 3 manga series, for overworking Hirokoshi and not giving him more time to rest. Similarly, One Piece fans are also expressing concerns for Oda's
I'll
health,
tank it.
wanting him to take care of himself first and
Already
foremost.
hit over that.
Although Oda's main priority is the One Piece manga, he was also involved in the anime, video games, and upcoming live-action TV series for Netflix. Dude, I say let the man rest. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And One Piece is going on for how long?
20 years.
Too long?
Yeah.
He's almost done with it.
Almost done with it?
Yeah.
Almost?
It's like 90%
Kubo
done, I think
finished
he said.
Bleach. Kubo finished Bleach. Kishimoto finished Naruto. And meanwhile, Oda is only almost done with One Piece.
Dude, Dragon Ball Z was done with. So was GT. So was Dragon Ball Super. This was One Piece.
Anime-wise, Super's manga is still ongoing.
As far as I know, One Piece never had any kind of break like that.
Nope.
I hate this part. I hate this runner thing.
Well, let's wish him a speedy recovery and hope that he gets back on his feet so we can properly create and not just create, because you know that if you properly create, you care more about your work than others.
Yep.
In movie news, The Batman Part 2 will reportedly include a live-action Clayface.
Neat.
Yay.
Mess me with your shoddy 3D. In some form or another, it's looking like we could soon be seeing a live-action version of the DC supervillain Clayface. Recently, it had been reported that filmmaker Mike Flanagan had pitched a Clayface movie to Warner Brothers. Why a lone movie?
Why would you make a solo Clayface movie?
Yeah, this isn't the Joker. This is Clayface, man. Come on. But that the project didn't seem to land. A new report from Deadline sheds some new light on Flanagan's pitch, noting that the studio hasn't officially said no, though such a project hasn't yet been greenlit at this time. The report also clarifies that the Clayface movie pitch by Flanagan was not meant to be part of Matt Reeves' Batverse with Robert Pattinson, though it's not clear if it would be for a Joker-style standalone film or if it would be connected to James Gunn and Peter Safran's DCU. Please, dude, come on. Could we stop?
It's not gonna be. Nobody.
Could we stop making all of our goddamn comic book villains so sympathetic? Like,
You know, Clayface
really?
I could kind of understand in some
Clayface,
ways.
Clayface I understand, but okay. Let's say they make another Marvel movie and they involve the Great Lakes Avengers. Let's say. I'm not saying they will. They might. I'm not saying they will. But let's just say for an instance. And their first supervillain happens to be Carnage,
Oh, thank God.
right? You know that in the comics, Carnage doesn't give a shit about anything despite how rough his childhood was, right? He'll kill
Yeah.
Yeah,
anything.
well, here's the thing. thing. I like how they portrayed him in the movie, because as it wasn't like he had a sympathetic backstory. Venom didn't care.
No,
Venom's
but
like,
that was,
fuck this guy.
this guy was more on point of Carnage. This one was more like an on point Carnage, but with a little bit of Silence of the Lambs vibe. He had more of a Silence of the Lambs vibe. That's the thing. If Marvel had the chance, they're going to make Carnage sympathetic.
No,
Like
they're-
I had such a shit childhood. My grandma put cigarette burns on me, and my mom almost killed me
Oh, he
because I
wasn't
killed the
sympathetic,
dog.
though, you know?
When the dog almost ate me, I just
Excuse
wanted
me?
someone to care for me. And when someone found me and finally cared for me, I just snapped. I put the dog up my butt.
Did you actually watch Let There Be Carnage?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because that's not what happened in the movie.
No, but I know that's not what happened in the movie. But I'm just saying, if Marvel had their way, I know this
Oh
is
yeah,
like a
Marvel,
Sony.
not Sony. Okay.
Marvel. You know they're gonna try and make Carnage the most sympathetic bastard there is. Because look, if any kid survived what Carnage went through, oh yeah, that kid would gain the deepest of sympathies. But this is Carnage. After surviving all that, he decided, fuck it, I'm gonna kill everybody for the lulz. And not even Joker lulz. Just like, hey, you see that broken aluminum can? Come over here. Right into your eye. Oh, you're dead.
Oh, you mean like that one scene where Michael Ironside sped up the train and then it's just, I don't know what happened in that scene. Alex, we've seen the same movie. What happened there?
What movie?
It was that movie where Michael Ironside was playing a villain.
Oh yeah, Highlander 2, The Quickening.
When you said sped up the train, only two movies came to mind. Speed 2 and Bullet Train. Yeah? Well, I'm taller, asshole. He lost his head. In any case, the new Deadline report also divulges that while a screenplay hasn't been finalized, Clayface is, quote, a big addition to Matt Reeves' The Batman 2, unquote. If the shape-shifting supervillain is in fact intended to be introduced in the sequel to The Batman, that would explain why producers are hesitant to simultaneously give the go-ahead to a separate project from Flanagan that's focused on the character. In any case, a Clayface movie is something that Flanagan's had on his wish list for a while, and it would seem that he's getting closer than ever to turn that into a reality.
You know what they'll
I wanted
probably
to
do?
do a
They'll
Superman
probably
movie
have
since-
Clayface in the Batman 2, and then they'll have Clayface the movie solo.
Wait, you think like a Venom movie? I mean, like he's not
No,
exactly an
I'm thinking,
anti-hero.
I'm thinking like they'll make a different Black Label DC Black Label movie called Clayface. Kind of like how they have like the Batman and Joker and stuff. Although the Black Label stuff is kind of they're inconsistent because the Doom That Came to Gotham is a Black Label movie.
Here's another thing.
Yeah.
Here's another thing, though. We know Clayface's origin, right?
Vaguely. I'm not 100%
He's
familiar with him.
He's a washed-up movie actor.
Yeah.
How many movies have there been where they had a washed-up movie actor anywhere in his career that turned
You know who
into
they should
something?
get? You know who they should get to play? This washed-up actor who turns into a giant blob monster.
Who?
Steven Seagal.
Oh, God. That's horrible.
Oh yeah, Nostalgia Critic calls him shit spewer. Wait,
well,
what?
Alex, at the very least, Alex, you were at a reasonable point where you could quit the game.
Anyone know where I can find Johnny Lupo?
Did
Hey.
you know Steven Seagal showed up at an elementary school in Colorado?
Oh, fuck.
What?
Yeah, he showed up at an elementary school in Colorado, and
Oh, I can only imagine.
And then he started crying in the microphone.
I can only imagine how it was.
Like he was saying, so I posted a picture of myself, and
Oh, you're
they were asking
you're
me.
talking about the South Park skit. Okay.
Yes.
No, I
Going
would
down to
see
South
him.
Park, gonna
I
have
could see him
myself a
bitching about it
time.
though. I could see him bitching about it though. He hasn't once lifted a dumbbell and after.
Like he was
Oh, Steven,
crying.
you know,
Yes,
Steven Seagal used to be in really good shape, and it's frankly embarrassing, the fact that the only shape he's in is round now.
He was a gym instructor, wasn't he?
He was an Aikido instructor, or he was one of the best, and he was a stuntman, stunt coordinator in Hollywood, but he was great, and then
He's fucking
like
crazy,
you know
though.
he huh.
He's fucking crazy though.
Oh yeah, and then
Like,
he's constantly picking fights with people who can beat him up. Like there was this one time, like he picked a fight with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Van Damme just chased him around Hollywood, like Bugs Bunny basically. He said that I challenge you to a fight any time, anywhere, and Van Damme was like, okay, hey, we're gonna fight here, we're gonna fight here, we're gonna fight here. No, okay. Hey, let me know where you want to fight. Like,
out of all the people you could be asking to fight, you had to ask Jean-Claude Van Damme. That guy can fight.
The Belgian karate
Kyle?
champ.
He's a kickboxer, isn't he?
Most recently, he was picking a fight with fucking Chuck Norris. He says, "Oh, Chuck Norris is
So
too
he
old
chose
to protect anybody." Chuck Norris is like 80 something now. Oh,
He's
motherfucker,
like
you're
70
something.
No, Chuck Norris is 70 something. He's still in good shape.
Oh yeah, well Chuck Norris is like 70 something, but Steven Seagal is like 60, 70 something too. He's in and you know what? Chuck Norris might have had 2 hip replacements, but he can still fucking move.
He probably still has that fist under that chin somewhere.
Well, Chuck Norris can still pull off his roundhouse kick. It's just like a little more difficult. Well, it's not like he's having other people do his fight scenes for him these days, like Steven Seagal does.
Yeah, he can be telling people to kick
that went direct to cable.
Oh,
direct to cable.
Direct to cable.
I really
Not
sincerely
even
do.
direct to video, direct to cable. Oh my god.
His little piggy was in Fast and the
If
Furious.
it weren't for these stupid sections where I have to collect
And the
rings
little piggy went
just to
direct
form
cable.
a goddamn opinion on something.
Dude, Steven Seagal is like, man, he's something else. Like, does anybody know the story about when Rob Schneider was introduced to him?
Oh yeah, Rob Schneider and John Leguizamo has a great story about how Steven Seagal like shoved him up against a wall on the set of what the Executive Decision, and like he said the second he got on set for Executive Decision, he said, "I'm in command now. Oh, I'm running all the fight scenes," because apparently, like, he was running the fight scenes and stuff, because he is. If he's good at anything, and he's good at coordinating a fight scene, but
the moment he joked just a bit, he slammed him against the wall.
Yeah, he slammed John Leguizamo up against the wall. And he was like, Jesus Christ, calm down, dude. It was just a joke.
There's a reason why he was only invited once to the Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Well,
then again, John Leguizamo
became funny on Arsenio Hall, and now he's just like if you watch some of his early appearances on Arsenio Hall, Steven Seagal was actually quite funny and quite humble about like, you know, what he was capable of, and you know what he. Yeah, Sprinter is useless, so I'm gonna use Covering Fire.
Hey, Ridley, you know about the story of how Schneider met Steven Seagal?
No, I don't.
This is hilarious. So what happened was Rob Schneider was on the set of a movie that Steven Seagal was starring in. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I actually told this.
It would have been Glimmerman, I think.
Yeah, Glitterman. He was in the set of Glitterman, and when he was talking to Steven Seagal, he was talking about like something like, I'm calm, I'm in my happy place, I took a lot of meditation, yada yada, basically saying that he was centering himself. Then a guy went to Steven Seagal and said, "Hey, your ex-wife called. She said that she's not coming here with the kids." That's when he snapped. You tell that fucking bitch that she better come here with the fucking kids. I swear to fucking God. Shouting, pointing at the guy, and then after he was done, he goes back to Schneider and is like, so anyway, I'm in my happy place. I'm calm. I'm like, what the fuck? He went from, I'm calm, fuck you! I'm calm again. I'm like, what the fuck? It's especially funny when you actually hear Schneider describe it.
Man.
Because it's a lot more fucking hilarious. He does a good
Oh, yeah.
impression.
Oh, Rob Schneider's actually funny.
Yeah, Rob Schneider.
I'll be surprised.
Rob Schneider. Oh, yeah. Seagal also tried to pick a fight with Arnold Schwarzenegger once upon a time.
That's precious.
Arnold Schwarzenegger took a drop kick to the back at age 70 and barely even noticed it. And so I earned the nickname Tank in XCOM, so that sounds about right. And I'm debating whether I get Shredder Rocket.
I mean,
you know what? Suppression is better than Shredder Rockets.
And you might as well call Schwarzenegger a tank. If he's like that old and he's still able to look that fucking buff, I don't know why fucking Seagal is trying to pick fights with anybody in Hollywood at this point.
Well, Seagal's desperate to keep his ego going, you know?
Dude, he ate his ego years ago and it still hasn't digested. So yeah, I think Steven Seagal would make a good Clayface considering his background. But here's the thing.
Yeah, so go look up Rob Schneider, telling Steven Seagal stories on the Howard Stern show. Oh, that was a really good clip there. I think it's probably about 2 or 3 minutes long. I mean, it's pretty good.
Here's the thing about Clayface, though, I want to bring up. I don't want it to be Harley Quinn the show Clayface.
Yeah, no, that show was terrible.
It's
also,
okay.
by the way, if you want to see really funny reviews of Steven Seagal's awful movies, go check out Space Ice's Steven Seagal playlist. It's fucking amazing.
So why was the Harley Quinn show terrible?
I gotta collect 70 rings, which is nearly impossible on this stage.
I just hope that the Clayface morphing and everything, just hope that the effects are at least, at the very most, decent. Like, I don't want them to just... I really don't want them to fuck this up. They fucked over Scarecrow 3 separate times in the Nolan movies. I don't want them fucking up another character just because it's not the Joker. Okay, let's skip over that. I think we said what needs to be said about Clayface. Here's a little sad news, but also a little bittersweet. Clint Eastwood reportedly setting up final film at Warner Brothers. After several decades spent in show business, Clint Eastwood is reportedly looking to bring his film career to an end with one more feature film. The 92-year-old Who's last movie, Cry Macho, was released in 2021, is looking to team back up with Warner Brothers for his final movie. According to a new report from Discussing Film, Eastwood's next movie is being billed internally as the last of his career, though the report adds that the actor and filmmaker is still not fully decided about retiring after the movie. In any case, it makes sense for Warner Brothers to be the home for what could be the last film, as Eastwood has a long history with the studio that has previously seen him release more than 10 previous titles for the studio. Discussing Films report also divulges some details on his planned final film for Eastwood. Called Juror Number 2, The movie is described as a thriller that will follow a juror on a murder trial who realizes that he may have caused the victim's death and must grapple with the dilemma of whether to manipulate the jury to save himself or reveal the truth to turn himself in. Eastwood is definitely planning to direct the film, and as he often stars in his own movies, chances are he'd have a role in Juror Number 2 as well. It's reported that a certain young Hollywood star is being eyed for the lead role, but no casting has yet. But not. God, that is worded
La la
weird.
la 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 huggies, huggies.
But that no casting. But that no casting. God damn it. But that no casting has yet to been made official. Clint Eastwood rose to fame as an actor, particularly with his work in iconic Western classics like The Man with No Name trilogy, as the popular Dirty Harry film. God, this fucking diction.
Well, let's just
Trilogy
go
as
ahead
well.
and sum it up then. And we don't
He-
necessarily need to keep reading it.
Yeah,
So,
basically, this is going to be his last film.
you know, that it could be that he's preparing to retire, or it could just be that he's planning on moving over to a different studio. So, who knows?
I mean, he's 92.
He's 92 years old, and if he and if he goes
Wait,
away,
Clint Eastwood is 92?
if he
Clint
decides
Eastwood
to
is
retire,
only
he's
92
earned it.
years old.
And the man's made a lot of really good movies over his career.
And he's lived a sort of adventurous life, too.
Oh yeah.
I would say I mean, yeah, he could be right that he might be making his last film with Warner Brothers to move to another studio, but at the same time, he's 92. He's not exactly like Stallone 92. Well, he's not 92, but you know what I mean. He's not really. He's
Yeah,
not in
he's
the
not-
best shape like other aging stars are.
Yeah.
So for all we know, this could be his last movie, period, or it's just his last movie with Warner Brothers. But either way, it's just sad to see the guy go. Either way. Anyone else?
I don't have anything to say because I'm trying to concentrate.
All right then.
Oh yeah, you're playing a Sonic Labyrinth level.
Ugh.
Are you actually playing a Sonic Labyrinth level?
No.
Speaking of the video game industry, 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie, not the one that came out this month. 1993, the Super Mario
Not
Brothers
even out
movie
yet.
gets the largest collection of memorabilia put on display in Texas.
Okay. Why?
I mean, even if you've seen the movie or seen clips, I think you know why.
Oh yeah, well there are a load of props in that film.
Let's also not forget the fact that
There was a lot of money
That
went to the
meanwhile-
wrong things in that movie.
John Leguizamo is making himself more and more like a tool. Oh, bag.
Are
Well,
you talking
he
about because he used the word Latin X?
He's trying to clamor
he
for.
did not.
Yes, he did.
Meh. Meh.
Latinx is a slur. Pass it on.
Latinx.
Yep.
Yes, it is. Even Asa would agree wholeheartedly.
If someone asked if I was Latinx, I would say, no, I'm telling you to shut the fuck up.
Asa's kind of Latino. He's an Argentinian native.
So he counts.
Moving
Oh,
on.
not
from
only
the-
that,
Alex, have you ever heard of Bill
Leguizamo
Gates?
is trying to be like, oh, we got to get more representation, blah, blah, blah.
there is.
And I'm like, buddy, you of all people do not have any room to talk. There's a movie where he played a racially insensitive where he played a guy who was doing a bunch of racially insensitive stereotypes at one
the show.
time.
Yeah.
And guess
Yes.
and the nostalgia critic could only say that he is whiter than the color white.
He ain't wrong.
No, Doug is on the nose with that one.
So to provide context of the memorabilia being put on display, there's a tweet that they added here that has Daisy's dress, Daisy's pendant, the super jump shoes, and a couple of helmets from the Goombas.
That
Monkey.
movie was such a mess in terms of production. Like, they spent the money on things they shouldn't have. Like, there's awesome production design in that movie, yeah, but it's all in service
Guys,
of,
the gummy
like,
is doing its thing.
fuck all, you know?
All right, moving on. With all the excitement of the upcoming Super Mario Brothers movie, not Super Mario Brothers the movie, fans of a certain age have been discussing the '93 Super Mario Brothers movie they grew up with.
Oh, god damn it.
Some have even come forward to celebrate the movie in all its weirdness, such as Blake
Okay, thank you.
Dumesnil, whose large collection of props and
Okay,
memorabilia
so
can
Kevin
now be
got
found.
shot and decided to take cover. That is the best effect of getting panicked in this game that I have ever seen. And that is the only time getting panicked has had a positive effect.
National Video Game Museum in Texas. The museum director, John Hardy, comments with the Dallas Observer, Blake has collected a lot more pieces that weren't available to him back then, and we figured with the timing of the new movie coming out, it's time to capitalize on it and bring back a bigger, better version of the exhibit. This will be the second time Dobizno's collection will be on display at the museum. The first time was 2018. This new display is not only in anticipation of the upcoming Illumination Mario Brothers movie, but also in celebration of the first Super Mario Brothers movie's upcoming 30th anniversary in May.
Holy shit, 30th anniversary.
Dumesnil currently owns the largest collection of all things Super Mario Brothers. The Super Mario Brothers movie takes the... Okay, you're explaining the movie. I think we all know what the movie plot is right about now. Upon its premiere, the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie was blasted by critics and game fans alike, appearing on multiple lists of either the worst adaptations ever made or worst movies ever made. But despite the infamy, a legacy also began to grow. As the years have gone by, the film began to grow a cult following who found charm in the strange. Dumesnil comments on the props and set choices. I really like the tangible nature of the bullet bills and bombs and how they use the flamethrower guns to represent fireballs. I personally like the more adult approach of these spots of bold colors and things used in the costuming in the 90s vibe that use a lot of geometric shapes and pastels with costuming. Dumesnil shared with the Observer that his collection began when he found one of Mario's jump boots on eBay. While he couldn't afford the price for the prop, he tracked down the seller and got in contact with him, offering to buy more. What followed was quite the discovery. It turns out that the seller was the original prop master for the movie, and boy, did he have more Mario stuff in his hands, such as the bullet bill and the meteorite necklace. According to Dumesnil, that's what really got the ball rolling. Since the first display in 2018, Dumesnil's collection expanded by quite a lot, with 50 movie props, 50 pieces of memorabilia, over 100 original artworks and blueprints for the sets, props, and costumes. It's like a shrine for all things Mario. According to Hardy, the display has gotten quite the reaction from guests. The first time we did it, I was expecting anything, but it's a tough movie to watch. But it has a cult following, and we were shocked at how many people were into it. The response was so positive that it was another factor in bringing it back. The collection is currently on display at the museum and will be available for the rest of the year. The fact that the prop maker even kept them is surprising.
You know what? I would. Probably didn't get paid many royalties off of that film, let's be perfectly honest.
Fair. I mean, it's not like a Street Fighter the movie that's constantly playing on cable.
Street Fighter the movie... The funny thing is, Street Fighter the movie and Street Fighter the movie and Super Mario Brothers the movie are two films that were like they're kind of grimly regarded back when they were released, and nowadays they're regarded a lot better, I think.
Well, that's because they're seen as something else. Back then, when people first heard that Hollywood was going to make the first video game feature films, they were expecting quite a lot. They were expecting,
accuracy and whatnot.
Like 100% accuracy, if not at least 95% accuracy. But with stuff like anime not being as mainstream as it was, like say in the mid to late '90s,
Anime is
that
more
make
mainstream now than it was.
well, no, what I'm saying is like they weren't really expecting stuff like Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, is what I'm saying. What they have
Oh.
in, because like that. Well, it's
I think
not.
part of the problem is that our standards have also been incredibly lowered over the years because you remember Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, right?
Oh fuck, that was a bullshit. I remember seeing that in theaters.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You actually saw that in theaters. What the
Oh
hell?
yeah, I had
Irish Bison.
Ugh,
Mick
fuck,
Bison,
okay.
as people like to call him.
Keep in mind, the only movies I enjoyed watching back then that was Street
Bison.
Fighter related was Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, on VHS, on legitimate VHS cassette. I have not watched Street Fighter the movie at that point. I have not watched any of the other anime adaptations, such as Alpha or Next Generations. The only movie I grew up with that was Street Fighter
Alpha
was
Omega Sin.
Alpha and
Hey,
Alpha Omega Sin. The only Street Fighter movie I ever watched was Street
Yeah,
Fighter
that
2,
guy
the animated
Alan
movie.
Rob hates.
When I saw this and I heard it was live action, I had some expectations because Chun-Li was like a legacy character. And then I saw the movie with a best buddy. He paid for the tickets, got us the popcorn, the drinks. Oh fuck! Did I want to throw that shit up the moment I heard Ryu something?
Oh, there was also the awful King of Fighters movie. FBI
That
agent
one-
Terry Bogard.
Yeah, it's totally believable. FBI agent Terry Bogard. Sure. He's a jobber.
You guys gotta try these THC gummies sometime.
They turned
Fight
They
the
turned the main
experience.
character of Final Fight into a fucking jobber who was a side
It is.
character
Fight the
in the
experience.
Fatal
series.
Fury. They
Fatal
said
Fury?
Yeah, it's called Fatal Fury, where Terry Bogart's from. Smash players be like, duh, Terry, who's Terry? Oh, so you don't play fighting games.
Oh, angel.
I never played any of the Fatal Fury games, and even I know who Terry Bogard is based on the animated adaptations of his stuff.
Quite an excellent movie.
I wish that was
Movie
released in
and
theaters.
OVAs.
Yep.
By the way, Gizmo, you could get your hands on the anime stuff, since it's on Blu-ray and whatnot.
I gotta get me those on Blu-ray, man. I bet the quality is amazing.
It is.
I usually, but I'm still sticking to the VHS ones until I can get those. It's the previews for like the other manga products that get me.
Manga.
It's pronounced manga.
No, manga.
Manga Entertainment is how they pronounce the UK version, I think.
Yeah, and manga
Ozar
entertainment.
made a joke about how the manga pronunciation.
Manga entertainment, manga entertainment. It's a tomato, depending where you're coming from. And I'm not just saying that just to cast that aside because who cares. I'm legitimately saying that it really depends
Are
because
you guys hiding in the bookstore?
in the US, when manga industry or manga entertainment was promoted in a lot of the anime movies on VHS, they pronounced it manga industries.
Kind of like how
and
Sega was pronounced as
mispronouncing
Sega in the
manga.
UK. Not in the UK, in Australia.
Right, so that's why it really depends where you're from. But manga is something else. That's literally what it is. Manga is manga.
Yeah, it's the comic.
The
comic
yeah,
stuff.
Manga is the company. That's why I say it like
You're
that.
looking at differences.
You know what? That is a really good point.
Speaking of fighting games,
43%. I have an assault rifle, and I'm trying to shoot it. Little gray
speaking
man.
of fighting games, Street Fighter live action movie and series is now in the works. Because that worked the first time, didn't it?
Again. Are they gonna shit can it the way they did the
Street Fighter Legacy. Let's hope not.
the Street Fighter or World Warrior live action show they were working on.
Like, who the hell's Dan?
That was
Ray.
Gizmo Gizmo Hibiki.
You know,
Now
I
I know
think
how
that
You
was
like Dan
forgot his name.
Hibiki, hey Gizmo?
He's the underdog.
Sonic30655 says, wait, this isn't Superman 64. I was playing Superman 64 in the first hour, and then I got to a point where,
The game
where
didn't want
I-
him to continue?
yeah, the game didn't want me to keep playing it, so I just stopped. Heat ammo, that's fucking worthless. Rapid reaction, you don't run into that many robots in this game. Rapid reaction is universally good.
Guys, is one of the side effects of THC dizziness?
I don't know.
You gained the horny.
I am really
I
tempted
took
to
a
just quit this
THC
game right
gummy and now
now.
Kevin. Gizmo, you ever had THC?
Nope, but you know, I plan on it in the future when I can find it. Get ready to shut Hadouken all over again as a new live-action adaptation of the iconic video game Street Fighter is now in the works. Could you? No, incorrect. Video game series.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, is
Fuck
it
you.
animated at least?
No. Let's see. Is now the studio who were behind such blockbusters as The Dark Knight and Dune, really, have now
Wait,
struck
so-
a deal with Capcom, the company behind the Street Fighter series. Okay, there you go.
Legendary.
And have acquired exclusive rights to the franchise via THR. Not only as a live-action movie now being planned, but Legendary is also helping to create a television series create a television series adaptation of the beloved game. Really? The guys who are behind Dark Knight and Dune? I mean,
So the guys behind the Mortal Kombat movie are going to be making a Street Fighter movie?
yeah, kind of counterintuitive, don't you think? Hire the killer that killed you so they can catch another killer, is basically what I'm hearing. A series of fighting video and arcade games developed by we know video games. Okay? You said Street Fighter was a game, so you clearly don't. Let's see here. At present, further information on what Legendary Entertainment plans to do with the live-action movie and television series and how they plan to adapt the franchise is unknown. Of course, Street Fighter has been adapted for the big screen before, and while it is now looked upon affectionately by some, we can only hope that this new attempt will yield better results. No. It's been adapted twice for the big screen. One is looked upon greatly because of how goofy it is. One is looked down upon because of how shitty it is.
Yeah.
This will not be the first time that Street Fighter has been adapted into live action. The video game has brought it to screens courtesy of Universal Pictures back in 1994, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia, along with the likes of Byron Mann, Damien Chapa, Kylie Minogue, Ming-Na Wen, and Wes Studi. Loosely, and we mean very loosely, based on the game which shares its name, Street Fighter follows Colonel Guile in his fight to bring down the nefarious General M. Bison, or, Nefarious General, because they didn't space it. A military dictator and a drug kingpin who aspires to conquer the world with an army of genetic super soldiers. Of course! While Street Fighter was successful at the box office, the efforts were not well received by critics, and the project now stands as an example of how not to adapt a video game. However,
You know what?
Street Fighter
The Legend
has...
of Chun-Li should stand as an example of how not to adapt things, and yet they keep doing things that are essentially the same.
Funny thing about that. Sadly, this was not the last poorly received attempt to adapt Street Fighter, with 2009's Street Fighter The Legend of Chun-Li somehow being even worse, largely because it is so unforgivably forgettable. Here's hoping Legendary have something much better in mind. Let's. You know those stories about how that one strange guy out of the friend group who somehow lost his virginity to a girl under weird circumstances.
Yeah.
Legend of Chun-Li was that. Legend of Chun-Li was exactly that. With Street Fighter the movie being one where you love to look back on it for a laugh. This is the kid who looks back on it and asks, what the hell happened?
What the hell happened to me?
We have yet, out of all the Street Fighter adaptations that hit the movie theaters, which is 2, and 2 too many, we have yet to get one that compares it to a kid who was in high school and has gotten with the teacher that everybody wishes they could even touch. Until that day comes, we have the weird kid and we have the nostalgia kid.
Sorry, you're about to say nostalgia critic.
Fuck that noise. All right. Roman Reigns wins WrestleMania. Why?
Why
These
haven't
Mortal
they done the
Kombat
brand
movies were
split
good for a
yet?
fighting
Like,
game movie?
or
Okay,
why
so
haven't they done
the
brand
the
split
Paul
yet?
W.S. Anderson Mortal Kombat movie was good. The other two were not.
Okay, yeah, here's what. Okay, speaking of Mortal Kombat movies, why does everybody keep saying that the first one was bad?
I don't know.
Even though it was really good.
It's really good. I mean, okay, we get why people hated the rating.
Because nostalgia critic hated it.
Nah, come on, though. If that's really
They hated
the
it
reason,
because they took Doug's opinion as gospel.
he doesn't even know what he's talking about. He even admitted himself that he hasn't played either of the games as much as he liked. Like, fuck, man. Look, if you see Street Fighter the movie as a bad movie, I can understand why. You know, there's a lot of inaccuracies. There's so much goofy shit
Are
happening.
you mad enough to fight with me?
Nostalgia critic hates it.
But if we're talking about Mortal Kombat movies that are bad, if you were to say Annihilation, okay. If you were to say the modern one, okay, understandable. But
What
if
about the animated ones?
the animated ones are another story. This we're talking about theatrical release. They had all the budget in the world to do everything they wanted to when they were able to.
You want to know why
First-
Lambert turned down Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Because they offered him less money.
That and it was the script.
Yeah, he hated the script. They even had a
Yeah.
little Easter egg
This
about
is the
it
man
in
who
Mortal.
said yes to Highlander 3, by the way.
They even mentioned it as a little Easter egg and in an intro of Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 11. Like in one of the intro, you're able to select what kind of intro your characters can have in Mortal Kombat 11. The ones for Johnny Cage is one. The first one of him sliding into the scene with his shadow kick. Another one where you see him lifting his Oscar like it was a dumbbell. Another one where he walks in putting his shades on, and another one where he's talking on the phone. The one where he talks on the phone, you'll get this one piece of dialogue. Johnny Cage, page 62, Johnny Cage dies. Is someone high? That's
I love that line.
That's the reference.
Finally! Oh, I'm finally past
okay,
that
so
stupid
speaking of
thing.
movies, let's talk about something that sounds like it should have been an April Fool's joke but wasn't.
Moana?
Yeah, Moana live action
Yeah,
movie.
it was
The
released
Rock
8 years
announced it.
ago. It was
The
not
movie
even a
isn't 7
legacy
years
movie.
old. But let's see. Yeah, so The Rock is producing this movie. I presume that he's also going to be playing the same character he played in the animated film.
This isn't even a legacy Disney movie. This doesn't even. Why would you even? Out of all the movies you could make into a live action, you're picking
Where's
Moana.
Pocahontas?
Yeah, dude, I'm not even gonna ask for more live action movies because
They're gonna remake Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I'm just like,
I have yet to see a Disney movie that was turned live action that made me say I love this, or even I can dig it.
Hunchback of Notre Dame is one that I wanted for a remake just for actual interesting ideas.
There is a live action. It's called The Hunchback.
No, I'm talking about Disney.
Yeah, it's called The Hunchback. You might as well watch that movie instead, because you know they're gonna screw up at whatever live action movie of their own properties.
Yep,
that they'll make.
SBO was the one who quote unquote murdered Sonic. Oh, he's up.
They messed up Lady and the Tramp. They messed up Aladdin. Fucking Aladdin.
Did anybody actually watch the Lady and the
They
Tramp
could have
movie?
just brought in a Bollywood team to make the damn movie.
Well, you know
Jafar
what? If they actually cared, that's what they would have done. Actually, you know what? I believe that guy, what's his name? I want to call him Guy Fawkes, but that's not his name. Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie.
By the way, the train that the cast are on is Badnik.
Guy Ritchie would have done a good version of that if they'd have actually, let him do his thing. But they,
Is he related to Lionel Richie?
probably not.
Alex, I think you missed the fact that the train that the cast is on is a Badnik.
Huh. Amazing.
Oh, and it's also being powered by a Flicky.
I have no faith in that movie, man. This movie is 8 years old, man. It's not even... Dude, if a movie is not even old enough to go out on a date, then it shouldn't even be getting a
What
remake.
can
Hell,
I
if it's
say
not even old enough...
except
Even if it's not
you're
old enough to drink,
welcome.
it shouldn't... I don't care if it's old enough to drink. I don't care if it's old enough to even touch the retirement fund. Animated Disney movies should not be getting live-action remakes. They never worked. They never worked.
No.
Like, point me to a movie that has gotten praise, period. Not just praise for. No, not praise because. No, just praise. Just praise, period. Jungle Book, the live-action one.
Yes.
For what?
You know what they should do? They should make a live-action remake of The Black Cauldron.
Well, here's the thing. In the
You
Jungle
really
Book,
want them to
actually
screw
tried
up
to
that
be
movie?
different. It actually tried to do something different, and with the plot and whatnot,
Yeah.
as opposed to at the end of the day, you can't say that the Jungle Book is 1-to-1 on the exact same as the original. Well, it does have
We know that the live-action movies, they make enough changes to differentiate from the animation, but why?
I mean in the sense that it's pretty much a different movie altogether.
Right, but why should they have to? They've
I
done
mean-
it with all of their movies. Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lady and the Tramp. They've made a lot of changes to try and differentiate from the original, only for everybody to just watch the originals. Like, they made Belle more, what's that word?
Oh, and the
They
bad
tried to make her
and
more,
not genuine.
more assertive a character. Never mind the fact that
Yeah,
she was already
more. They try to make her
assertive
more
enough as a
assertive,
character,
only
and that's
for
why
her
people
to
liked
not.
her. You know, like she was already a really good character.
Yeah, they somehow made it less animated than the actual animated movie.
Oh my god, it's a friggin' Muton.
You
Literally,
remember?
Literally,
You
all
remember
of
that-
these characters could potentially destroy the train, and without much effort, and yet we got to play along with this visual novel. All weirdness.
Here's my stance: if Disney's gonna make a live-action Disney movie, just make a live-action Disney movie. Stop trying to piggyback off your past creations by saying, "Oh, we'll make a live-action version of this." Okay, how about you actually listen to the fans and make the sequels, prequels, and remakes that they're actually asking for? Like, give us legit Monsters Inc. 2. Don't just give us Monsters Inc. with
University
colors.
and the TV show.
Yeah, don't. Nobody asked for that.
Like,
No kid asked for that. No adult asked for that. Like, who?
Monsters
Nobody watched
University
it.
was alright.
Okay, but was it good? Was it better than the first one?
You're just saying
it
that it's
doesn't
not good
need to be
because
better than the
Mr.
first
Enter
one,
said
but
it's
yeah.
not good.
It
No.
was,
I
it
didn't
was
even
good
know
enough. I mean, granted, it kind of messes up continuity because they were supposed to have met like when they were kids, so you know.
Right.
Mr. Enter called it an unnecessary prequel,
Yeah, I'd have
I
to
know-
agree with
yeah,
that.
it is.
It was fun to watch, though.
even though Gizmo
I've
hates
spent
Mr.
more
Enter.
time on.
I didn't even know
I've
Mr.
spent
Enter
more
even
time
said
on worse
that.
things.
I didn't even know Mr. Enter said that until you brought it up.
Yeah, 10 years ago,
It's still it's still really not necessary. This is a prequel nobody asked for. You could have made a
That's the
prequel on
first time
almost.
in a while I've seen you agree with Mr. Renner on anything.
I'm not. I'm just saying there's when it comes to prequels, there's a reason why they exist because they want to expand on the lore and answer questions that haven't been answered, right? Same thing with sequels, same thing with sometimes remakes. Very rarely do they do that with remakes. The prequels, they're supposed to be answering a lot of questions if they're
Hi, Eggman.
if they're already a lot that haven't been answered in the original movie. If they were to make a prequel for Monsters Inc., I'd be open to it, but they made one that just didn't vibe right. Like, they could have explained how screams work. Who thought up of the idea of screams powering the city? Who made the doors? Where does the power come from? Who thought up of the idea of the doors to enter kids' closets? What was the first 2319 incident like? Those are questions that need to be answered. Instead, we get...
Don't envy anybody who has to go up against that in combat. Kills it.
An unnecessary prequel.
Yeah, instead we get Monsters Inc. College. Monster
What
High.
sequels do you want? What Disney sequels would you want?
A Black Cauldron 2. Treasure Planet 2.
Yeah, Treasure Planet 2. A real Atlantis 2 with the original
an
cast.
actual Atlantis 2, and that isn't some failed pilot of a TV
What about
show.
The Great Mouse Detective?
I can
no,
live...
it's been too long.
It's already been too long. They're gonna put a lot of data and memes in there, whatever the fuck. That's just Disney. That's just Disney. I could tell you for days what I want with Marvel, but you know they're gonna fuck it up. Hey, Disney, can I get the Fantastic Four? Okay, we'll make Johnny Storm black. No, that's not what I asked for. I want the Fantastic Four.
Disney, have you hired Drunken Punk?
Now we gotta do this BS again.
We're gonna make the thing gay. No.
Have you seen Vince McMahon lately, by the way?
Disney, did you hire Drunken Punk yet?
No, he didn't find his skull.
This is what Vince McMahon looks like right now.
Let me see.
By the way, Alex, how do you feel about the fact that Sonic Frontiers had one of the IDW
that is
comics
not Vince
doing the
McMahon.
character riding?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. You know, they managed to
Photoshop
pull off
mustache
some
over him?
awesome shit.
I was talking about Ian Flynn.
Yeah,
Vince McMahon looks like he's gonna swindle your entire town.
Frontiers pulled off something, and that Sonic hasn't done in quite a while. Well, you know, I feel like they need to bring more good writers on board to achieve this.
Vince McMahon looks like he's gonna swindle your entire town on his magical miracle tonic that cures any ailment. That mustache, man, I can see that happening.
And the funny thing is that Frontiers actually addressed it as the moment where Tails was out of character in Forza is during the during one of the events where you're talking with Tails.
Why did he shoot a drug dealer in the head?
Why did you break a window behind you to shoot somebody in front of you when you were just gonna shoot the window out anyways?
What's y'all's favorite Justice League moment? And from
And
the
shoot
show?
out a different window to shoot out a window that...
Comic book or cartoon?
The cartoon, the 2001 show.
Fuck. We're counting Unlimited, right?
Yeah, Unlimited.
He's gonna say Black Canary.
Nah, no.
I should use the frag rocket. Shit.
I'd smash, but no, that's not my favorite moment. Galatea versus Supergirl in the holographic room.
That was a neat one. I kind of like for regular Justice League, it would have to be the part in Better World where Flash tricks Batman, Justice Lord Batman, into believing that he killed himself.
Oh yeah. So I gotta bring something else up, because we were talking about stuff that sounds like it should have been an April Fool's joke. Let's talk about something that was an April Fool's joke, but was reported on as not being an April Fool's joke. So, I gotta find these guys, because we gotta name and shame these motherfuckers, because they ate the fucking onion on this one.
Oh, so the Onion reported on something and someone thought this was real news?
Well, kind of.
Ogres are like onions.
You know, after watching the new Puss in Boots movie, I'm just glad.
So rockcelebrities.com, rockcelebrities.net rather, reported on a fake article from Metal Underground.
Okay.
That was an April Fool's joke. I'll remind everybody, Metal Underground put out an April Fool's joke about Lars Ulrich about this, saying that Lars Ulrich was taking some time off to be replaced by a Megadeth drummer for a leg of their European tour. Now, of course, the fact that they were replacing him with a Megadeth drummer raises enough eyebrows as it is, but you know, the fact that Lars Ulrich, and I probably should have noticed this, because I didn't read the original Metal Underground article, to know that it was filed under their Just for Fun April Fool's section. The fact that Lars Ulrich has been the drummer for Metallica since before Metallica was Metallica, and that they've, like, he's played drums more often than Kirk or James have played lead. Like, the two of them have like, you know, they've switched out their roles, and they've had to have like, you know, Dave Mustaine was the original lead guitarist for Metallica way back when, and then they had a different guy who played lead on the demo for Hit the Lights, while James and Dave played rhythm, if I'm not mistaken. And then they also had a couple of different rhythm guitarists with them back when, because James burned his arm one time in the 90s on a pyro, and then another time there was this other time where he broke his arm skateboarding, and they had to get somebody else to fill in, and you know, but all that time Lars has been the drummer. Now I understand if they needed to have like another drummer for their, because the part of their 72 Seasons tour, apparently
Now we get the final
it's gonna
boss
be a
of this
fairly
game.
Grueling schedule.
We're fighting the train. No, we're not going to suplex it like we're stabbing.
If they were, you know, if they needed like fill-ins for for some of that, I could understand that. But the fact that apparently they were reporting on him as being replaced for part of the tour with
I'll be right back. I got a phone call.
Damn Good Ground is pretty good.
Anything I'm feeling right now. Ow!
There was a Lady and the Tramp live-action movie. Yes, it was exclusive to Disney Plus. Yeah, a lot of the fact.
You will not be doing that one.
Yeah, the fact that these guys reported us on this as being legitimate, and like, come on, guys, do some fucking research. Like, Lars got sick once during 2004, when they had to get Dave Lombardo to fill in, and Joey Jordison, and did some after that. But that's been the only time Lars hasn't been with the band and live. All right, I'm gonna stop now.
A little bit of sad news for comic book fans. Steve Skeets, longtime comic writer and Hawk and Dove co-creator, dies at 80.
Oh man.
Steve Skeets, one of the first members of the so-called second generation of comic book writers, who had a long and distinguished comic book writing career at DC, Marvel, Tower, Warren, Archie, and Charlton, including an iconic run on Aquaman and co-creating Hawk and Dove with Steve Ditko, has died at the age of 80. Growing up of humor magazine and comic books, when Skeets was nearing graduation from college, he decided to apply to a number of comic book companies and was hired by Stan Lee at Marvel Comics as Lee's assistant editor upon his graduation. Skeets' tenure in the editorial was extremely brief, with Roy Thomas hired to replace him after just 2 weeks. But as part of his exit, he was given some freelance writing assignments at Marvel, including 2 issues of Kid Colt Outlaw and 2 issues of Two Gun Kid. And Skeets parlayed those jobs into a written gig at Tower Comics, working on Undersea Agent and the company's flagship title, Thunder Agents, throughout 1966. This made Skeets one of the earliest members of the second generation of comic book writers, the first comic book writers to actually grow up on comic books. Unlike today, where none of them grow up on comic books, making fucking comics. At Tower Comics, Skeets worked with Steve Ditko for the first time, as Ditko had just left Marvel Comics himself. In 1967, Skeets began to get assignments at Charlton Comics, as well as where he would do the majority of his comic book work over the next 2 years. As while Charlton did not pay particularly well, they gave him freedom to do whatever he wanted. He worked with Ditko again at Charlton on a Question backup story. In 1968, Skeets and Ditko co-created Hawk and Dove for DC Comics. This led to Skeets getting regular work at DC throughout the 1970s, including an acclaimed run with Jim Apro on Aquaman. While at DC, Skeets revisited his humor background by introducing the Humor magazine. Plop.
Did I miss anything while I was gone?
Yeah,
Anything
a comic book writer died. He also used his humor skills on a Plastic Man reboot for DC. In the early 1980s, Skeets worked for a variety of publishers, including a return to Marvel, where he wrote the Spider-Ham ongoing series.
Oh man, that was a pretty good one.
In the late 1980s, he did a short-lived comic strip in upstate New York called The Adventures of Stu Ben and Allegheny, referencing the towns of Steuben, New York and Allegheny, New York. Skeets then moved back to his hometown of Rochester in the early 1990s to help his mother take care of his ailing father. He continued to write, though, for various companies until his passing. In 2012...
Oh, now we're fighting the train.
In 2012, Skeets received the Bill Finger...
Nope, we're not Sabin.
In 2012, Skeets received the Bill Finger...
Not a good suplex the train.
Did you say
I
we're
that
not
would be more
Sabbath?
of a Knuckles thing?
Yeah,
Did you
but
say
Sonic
we're not
could
Chris
do
Sabbath?
it.
In 2012, Skeets received the Bill Finger Award for Excellence in Comic Book Writing. Moment of
This
silence
is straight
for
up bullet hell.
A moment of silence for Steve Skeets, the legend, another legend gone. Or a moment of silence minus Ridley.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Now for some lighter news. Exclusive. Now, how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Street Fighter crossover may affect Chun-Li, Raphael, and more. Because of course something is crossing over with the Ninja Turtles.
Who haven't they crossed over with?
Oh yeah, so
anyone Marvel?
Mickey Mouse.
We need Spider-Man and then the Ninja Turtles teaming up.
They haven't
Come on, that
talked
would print
over with
money.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Ruby.
No.
Hey, Justice League already did
There
it.
is
You
a
know they're
Ruby
gonna do
movie
it.
coming out soon.
You know what? Good question. Let me
Dragon Ball.
see. Oh hell no.
You know, Masako X is gonna make a what if about that. What if
Good.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were in the Dragon Ball world?
Good. I want to see that. I want to know what would happen. I don't want to have to write that myself.
Damn it,
Writing
Samus
too many
has-
things.
Kevin, what do you think of
Welcome
Masako
to my
X?
life.
I know you think very negatively of Kaiser Neko, and I
It's
know
not
you're kind of meh on Lanny Pator and Takahata 101, but what about Masako?
By the way, Nick
What do you
Landis
think of
and Scott.
Masako,
Masako's
Kevin?
cool. For
Nick
what I
Landis
see
and
of him.
Scott ended up revisiting their.
Oh, here
Ended
you
up
go.
watching the very first episodes of their abridgments that they created.
Oh, nice. Are they pulling
And-
out any of the Neighborhood Cluck stuff?
No, it's just Nick revisiting in the first episode of Yu Yu Hakusho, British and Scott
that's
revisiting Lupin the Third.
Upon the third.
That's cool.
Why did Kaiser Neko become such a fool, anyways?
It's, you know what? I'll bet you he was probably already kind of a tool, and now
He's just showing it.
He
He's
just
like,
has
Did
more
you
of a
see him
platform.
and the others
No, it's just
criticizing
that
Wally,
people
the
had
voice
enabled
of,
him to become such.
Did you see Kaiser Neko and the others giving the voice of Oscar Kakashka shit because of his tweet? That is actually how I know Wally Wingard as well. He was the voice of Oscar.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wally.
Wally Winger ended up making a tweet that basically is the truth, but
Damn it.
people don't want to hear the truth.
Nah, truth is like kryptonite to SJWs.
Facts over
Your
feelings.
moves mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Oh, here you go. April 25th is when Justice League Ruby comes out. Both on digital and physical.
Excuse me?
What, the Justice League Ruby movie?
Yeah,
Yep.
comes out on the 25th of this month.
They're having a
watching that shit.
crossover with Ruby.
Again, so what it is that it's based off the comic book, but not really. The Justice League Ruby comic book it's basically, what if the characters were in the Ruby universe instead of the DC universe? So like stuff like Batman,
Yeah,
stuff
it's the
like
inverse
Batman's
of the
a
Batman
font
Ninja
man.
Turtles comic, where the Batman
Well-
Ninja Turtles comics has them being the has them
not-
isekaiing into the Batman universe, whereas the Batman and Ninja Turtles movie has them just being in the same universe together, which is
Right, but-
awesome.
Which is better.
But instead, it's like over here, it's like the characters still exist, but instead of like superpowers or ingenuity, it's all fondness and
Yeah.
aura and semblances. Like, for example, instead of Batman being handy with his gadgets and being the smartest man alive
He's a
in the
faunus?
universe, he's a bat faunus and can literally generate sound waves. Superman is literally Superman is literally the solar powered shit, but taken to a stupidly new level. So instead of like, oh, he gets his powers from the sun, all he needs is just some juice and then he's good to go. No, unless he's under the sun, he can't do shit. The Flash is a turtle faunus.
Why?
That doesn't make any sense.
I think it does because the tortoise beat the hare,
Yeah, that's
and turtles are
Look,
mistaken to be.
I know
the
turtles are
slowest
very fast creatures in real life, but they're also
But think about,
not.
think about it from like how we thought of turtles back then. Everyone thought, as well as kids, that turtles were the slowest creatures around, and people there are still people that think they do. They still are, so it makes sense in their universe. Cyborg is still Cyborg. Aquaman is some sort of weird
Dark.
faunus, but not really. Wonder Woman's a cyborg.
Why?
Oh no, more accurately, android.
Why?
You're asking me that. Let's
Yes,
see.
because you're the one who's providing this intel.
You're the one who has all the answers. It's
I
like
read it
me
once, and
asking
that was
Kevin
it.
why.
Vixen is not in there, unlike the Justice League cartoon, Justice League Ruby cartoon movie. Alfred's in here. Alfred is in the movie. I mean, the fucking comic books, but not in the movie.
Ugh.
And Green Lantern, funnily enough, is the only one that kept its origin. It's
In
not
brightest
Hal,
day and
though.
blackest night, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's not Hal, it's not Kyle, and it's not Guy, and it's not John. It's the...
Hal?
Yeah, it's not Hal Jordan. It's not Kyle Rayner.
Is it Alan?
It's not John Stewart, not Alan Scott, and it's not Guy Gardner. It's the newest of the group.
What's Simon Baz?
No, Maria something. No, not the
Jessica
Muslim guy.
Cruz?
Yeah, no, I think
Jessica
Why
Cruz is an alright. She's an alright character.
Why her? She's all right.
yeah.
I-
but
Fun
I
fact,
think
that
it
means
has-
Ethan Van Sciver is going to be making money off of that movie.
Honestly, I don't know. I maybe is she an underrated character? I don't know. Like the only characters that ever rang with me in terms of Green Lantern was the main guys: John, Guy, Kyle, Hal. You know,
Did you say Guile?
Okay,
Guy.
so in
Guy and Kyle.
allow me to interject something.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Because I think none of us care about the Ruby thing. J.K. Rowling is going to be involved in a Harry Potter remake series for HBO, so that she can ensure that it remains loyal to her original material. However, she will not be the showrunner. I don't know how to feel about this, because I've been saying that Harry Potter needs to be remade as a miniseries for a long time, but, you know, the perfect guy to play Dumbledore died 20 years ago, so... Unless they're planning on getting Ian McKellen to do it finally.
Let's just hope that they get some, not star power, some acting chops in there, like people who can actually act.
Well,
and characters are interesting too, and makes
Ian
sense
McKellen
because...
should play it 110%. I believe Ian McKellen needs to be Dumbledore.
Well, the thing is that Ian McKellen didn't want initially play Dumbledore just out of respect for the wishes of the original actor. Because the original actor didn't like him as an actor.
He was offered Dumbledore.
Yeah, he was offered, but he refused.
Now, he was offered Dumbledore before, Richard, what's his name? God, now I can't remember his name.
Richard Dawson?
I know they're gonna get the right actors for this job. I just hope they
Richard
expand
Gere?
on the lore. I just hope they expand on the lore. I really hope
Richard Harris. He was actually offered the role before Richard Harris took it,
really?
and he turned it down because he was already working on Lord of the Rings, and he wound up...
Rings of Power?
No.
No. And then he wound up turning it down again, and once Richard Harris died, but I wish I wish that he'll take it now, because he's perfect for the role, and I don't want, as much as I like Michael Gambon in other roles, I didn't like him as Dumbledore much.
Why is that?
Maybe this is down to the directors, but, like, his accent kept changing. There was just a bunch of weird stuff going on with the way his Dumbledore was portrayed, you know?
Okay.
Oh, I sense a disturbance in the Force. Here she comes.
Oh, funny thing about that Ruby Justice League. Ruby is now gone to the DC universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw.
It's really stupid. Hey, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, Blake is literally dumb.
They're all
Blake
stupid.
God.
Blake is literally the worst part about most of Ruby. A period.
Why are you of all team? Why are you of all Ruby characters talking shit to Batman? You work alone. You work alone. You want to be like that? Okay, yeah. You're telling that to the guy who has 3 Robins, Nightwing, 2 Batgirls, and Batwoman.
Yeah, the people, the people keep complaining that the Bat family has too many,
Yeah, but in this case,
Oh,
I
God
think
damn
she's
it.
got no. In this case, she has no right to complain
Ben got
about him
shot
working
so
alone.
hard his hair popped off.
And we're done with the game, guys.
Here's my
Awesome.
solution.
Well, I'm gonna
Here's
go
my
ahead and
solution.
wrap it up for the night.
No. As in, I'm done with the boss.
Awesome.
Here's my solution for spreading out the Bat family.
And Amy, he broke the train.
Keep Cassandra Cain. Okay, right. Keep Tim Drake. Keep Nightwing. Send Damian Wayne to fucking, I don't know, New York. And then
New York should not exist in the DC universe, but it does.
New York, New York.
Pocket Dimension. I don't fucking care. Send him somewhere that isn't Gotham City or Metropolis.
He could just be part of the Titans.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, send him as part of the Titans. He's getting up there in age anyway, since they're deciding to do that. And Batgirl, not Cassandra Cain Batgirl. Make her Oracle again. I think we had enough of that of her being Batgirl for a while. I think it's time she turned back into Oracle.
No, I kind of don't like Oracle.
I like Oracle. I
like her, but I don't like her as Oracle. Well,
I like her as Oracle.
Just the character in the character in the chair support thing is just I don't care for it.
No, well, the thing is, she was able to kick ass even when she was in the wheelchair. I remember there was this one comic where it was in a bookstore, and it was getting like held up. She took out a couple of Cali sticks out of her wheelchair and beat the shit out of 2 out of the 3 robbers that were holding up the bookstore. She could still fight. I got no problem with her being wheelchair driven. I just think Cassandra Cain as Batgirl would, make things a little more tolerable, considering I liked that version of Batgirl. Also, Cassandra Cain's my girl.
Yeah, I like her.
That Batgirl outfit, man, and like the stitches, like the blank stare.
Yeah, that was a good one. So I'm sorry, I got to bring something up though. Apparently, the Dungeons and Dragons movie is actually really good, and all of the promotional bullshit that they were putting out for the film about it being like some woke emasculation thing, it was completely untrue.
Why do they say that then?
Guys, look, Eggman's got his 2 kids, Metal Sonic and Sage.
Because
that's adorable.
Because they were desperate to ruin their own prospects at the box office.
Prepare a bath.
Why?
The happy rubber ducky or the...
Why are they so desperate? Why are they
angry?
Fucking cinematic
Our
suicide?
choice, your
All
evilness.
The funny thing is, all it had to do was be better than the last 2 live-action D&D movies, and you know what? They succeeded. As far as I can tell. I'm still gonna have to see it, but the clips look pretty good.
What about the Dungeons and Dragons
Cold Steel? What are his choices? Are he either quit his job or stuck with the gig? What are we doing?
Job or what now?
Stuck with the gig.
Cold Steel the Hedgehog does not give up.
All right, stuck with the gig.
But what about the?
I thought it was Sonichu.
Okay, and then what? He either practices singing or won millions in the lottery.
Why did I just shoot through my own guy?
Speaking of Sonichu, why has there been no Chris Chan sightings yet?
What?
Chris is probably He in hiding.
What?
Alex, what are my choices?
Chris
Are
has
practice
been
my
out of
sing,
jail
and then
for a
did Cold
week.
Steel
and they're
practice his
still
singing or
What?
win millions in the lottery?
He practices singing.
And after all that, he either managed to fly to space or now run a local supermarket.
What about the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon character cameos? People have been worrying about that for a while now, thinking that they were just going to get killed off or cast aside in that movie.
I haven't seen that much of it, so I can't
Well,
say. But
I've seen there. Some of them have like a freeze frame of like the kids like from afar, and someone even made like a little skit of the original characters looking at their live action selves, complaining how they look.
yeah.
So I'm wondering what happens to them in the movie. I'm just hoping that nothing dirty, not dirty, as in like
I'll have to check it
dirty,
out.
but like as in doing
Anyway.
them dirty.
Anyway, does he run a supermarket or did he manage to fly to space? What did he do, Alex?
I think he managed to fly into space.
All right. And that's just been his life. And that's the end of the game. The murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Boy, this was an elaborate April Fool's Day joke made into reality. Surprising amount of production value in this game, despite, it being pretty much a joke game.
Last bit of news, and this is short. Marvel may have just given Venom a new sidekick. Guess what
Why
the name
does Venom
is?
need a sidekick?
Kid Venom.
Why?
No.
I already don't want this.
Marvel's new Venom Lethal Protector 2 miniseries gives Eddie Brock a potential new Kid Venom sidekick.
Why?
Venom Lethal Protector 2 comes from writer David penciler Farid Karami, color artist Arif Perianto, and letterer VC's Travis Lonham. Set after the events of 2022's Venom Lethal Protector miniseries.
Oh, Joseph,
Venom,
you're a support now.
Venom Lethal Protector 2, number 1.
Gizmo, you're a sniper.
I'm a sniper. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I like sniping. Sees Eddie Brock and his titular symbiote cross paths with a character named Pablo Mendez. Eddie and Pablo had a few appearances together following the death of Pablo's uncle, Ernesto Mendez, although the character hasn't been seen since 1992's Web of Spider-Man Annual number 8. So we're going with the character nobody remembers. After saving him from being murdered in Venom Lethal Protector 2 number 1, Eddie and Pablo get a chance to reconnect on a New York City rooftop. Pablo fills Eddie in on what's happened to him since they last met, explaining how he was forced to live on the streets for a time before he was then recruited by a dangerous military group called Vanguard. Now looking to begin the next phase of his life, Pablo tells Eddie he wants to become his sidekick. You've been all over the Daily Bugle. People might start recognizing you, but I can do things you can't, he tells Eddie. Like, buy stuff for you so storekeepers won't press alarm buttons. While Eddie quickly dubs Pablo as Kid Venom, he also makes it clear he's not in the market for a new sidekick, warns Pablo not to ruin his life following his dream. Eddie, however, later admits he might have dismissed Pablo too quickly before the two characters cross paths shortly after Venom is attacked by a massive robot controlled by Vanguard.
I'll be right back. I gotta go refill the food replicators.
Oh, goodness gracious. No. No, Luna.
Pablo quickly proves himself useful as he's able to save a civilian's life during the battle, and then goes on to call himself Eddie's
Why can't
partner.
I customize this? Oh, never mind.
Though Eddie once again dismisses him, only to again realize later on he may have been too harsh. The story continues in Venom Lethal Protector 2, number 2, which releases on April 26, 2023. There's even they even have a comic panel here they saved. Hey, that gives me an idea. You got superpowers and all, right? Maybe I could be your sidekick. What? Kid Venom? That's a joke, right? And then he explains how he could just buy shit for Eddie so nobody can press any alarms. I'm not... Oh, sounds so stupid!
Yeah. Sounds absolutely dumb.
But then again, I'm open to this because at least it's not another one of those event comic books. You know, like this, like it being the 10th #1 Captain Marvel comic book, or some gay pride
Happy April
parade,
Fool's Day observed. Thank
a,
you for
a gay pride parade featuring the X-Men, even though like what only 3 of them are, and one of them was forced to be gay, literally.
Yeah.
Like I'm open to this because it's at least something that's actually for
All
fun.
right, I'm done with the game now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead
next
and
week.
quit for the night.
Next week we will reconvene in with the Metroid Zero Mission race.
Metroid can suck it in more ways than one.
Well, Gizmo.
Why did you?
Oh.
Why did you do that awesome jump? You didn't need to do that.
Well, anyway, bye everybody.
Bye-bye.
Till
Bye-bye.
next time, dear
And now I'm
viewer.
no longer live.
I just need to save the game, and I will be done for the day as well. Bye, everybody.
Oh, boy.
Reaction to that Kid Venom news. My reaction was Nickel Pickler what? That's Kevin's substitute for the very